What is happening? And welcome to your Thursday Night Delight. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Sean the Right Way, and joining me, as always, is my tag team partner, Brent from Brent's Bricks, my good friend and personal pal, Max from West Coast Bricks, and joining us tonight for the very first time is our very, very special guest. Tonight, we've got Holly from HOLLYONFILM. All that and much, much more tonight because we are...
You have to let it
where
right
we stole
out.
it out. Yeah, you gotta let it right out, Holly. We gotta build up the anticipation. You know what I mean? It's gotta, come on.
Fun fact. We didn't always used to let it right out. But we had so many fire guests, like right after another.
A couple of BrickHeadz.
And yeah, there's that.
It's such a groovy song too. Like
I just don't know how effective it was without the mic. Let it bounce. Ooh.
Sean's in an alternate setup this week, guys.
Yeah.
It's an alternate setup, guys. We're doing the best we can.
No
Holly's got
fancy
some
mics.
neighbor. She's officially a BrickHead with us now. And here we
I'm
go.
excited.
All right. Welcome everybody to the chat, and here we go. Welcome to a couple of BrickHeadz. Holly, thanks so much for joining. Very excited to have
Thank
you
you
on.
very much for inviting me. I'm very excited.
I mean,
Should be
listen,
fun.
there is no shortage of news, topics, and events to get into. Brent, can you give the chat some friendly reminders on what they need to do tonight, please, sir?
Well, if you're gonna hang out with us until the end of this, shortly after that, you probably can go catch yourself an episode or two, because I didn't know this, but apparently they're dropping the first 2 episodes tonight instead of just the first one. So yeah, you get a couple episodes of Kenobi tonight after the stream. So that's good. For me, it's gonna be like 3 a.m. So I don't know if I'm gonna be a psychopath and stay awake. And if I do, my wife will probably kill me.
Whoa.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Notice the W word.
Did you just drop that?
Well, I was gonna say
ladies and
fiance,
gentlemen,
but I'm trying to get used to not saying
big
fiance.
shout out to Brent, who yesterday
Hey,
got married.
look at that,
Look at Brent. Show it off, Brent. You got
Official.
your Sith. Can you show the Sith ring, please?
dude! It's
kind
very Lord of the Rings,
of, or
like,
Lord of the Ring. I prefer Sith.
Oh,
but,
that's
you know.
slick.
It's hard to really like see the detail, but it's got like it's not just black in the middle. It's I don't know. It's
Come on,
cool.
Girth Gang, give it up for Brent. Your
It was the
boy's
first
married
one.
now.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
love
yeah.
that.
I'm sure you're
What
all
a year!
applauding.
So Brent had a baby, bought a house, has the
Wow,
wife
what a
in
year.
lockdown. Life is good,
Dude.
my friend. I mean,
So
living
much,
the dream.
so much stuff has been happening. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Bricklock. Thank you, Brick Hive. Thank you, Lego Pup. Thank you guys for showing me the love. I appreciate you guys. So, and while I'm down there in the chat, Hidden Brick. Well, so all right, now since we mentioned earlier, Sean is not on his usual 1s and 2s, so we don't have the theme song for the chat this week, guys. So, sorry about that.
Sorry,
But
guys.
it doesn't mean you're not getting a shout out. Hidden Brick, Secret Squirrel Bricks, Flipping Flip, Will Harper, which Holly, you probably know Will Harper. Dude, what a legend. I mean, he's in, like,
everywhere.
he's
And
everywhere.
I'm literally like the most supportive person. Like I'll go onto like anyone else's comments and I'm like reading through and he's always there. And I'm just like looking at him like this. I feel like that was a
Double
great
glasses,
opportunity
nice.
to rip them off and show that I'm wearing
Yeah.
my blue light glasses like a
It's all good.
responsible person today. But yeah, like I'm just out there. He's always there. And I'm just like, honestly, most supportive, like kind and like great person.
Oh yeah.
Just amazing.
Hoarder
Love
66.
He is tremendous.
He
man.
recently changed
Oh,
over to
boys.
Hoarder 66, which I do love
I
his
saw that.
new name there. Oh
It's
yeah.
a baller name. You got to get it to him.
Sisu was giving me crap. I was hanging out in a stream with him one night, and he was like, I love how you say my name wrong. I'm like, hey man, listen, everyone says their name's different. I do my best here. But Sisu, how you doing? Speaking of hanging out in streams, Macro Bricks, how you doing? I was hanging out in a stream with him not too long ago. Poultry
What up,
Geist,
Macro?
Dash Anthony, how you doing? Ninja with the bricks, what is good? Brick
Ninja.
Hive, what's good? Steve's Brick Cave, cool name. What is going on? Jacob Neely, Bricks for Chris, and now is the time when I think I'm repeating names again. Josh Build Stuff, how you doing, Josh?
Josh,
Josh.
build
El
stuff.
Cobra
Although Josh
Commander,
from Josh Build Stuff.
Moments of Magic, and yeah, That's everyone. I think I got
Shout
everyone.
out to everybody for joining. Thanks so much for your support. If you're new here, remember to like and subscribe. Holly, we're trying to get better at that.
I'm terrible at it.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're taking a page from
she's
the
a
hype
pro. Holly's
YouTubers books, you've got to like count down and be like, smash that like button, 5-second like challenge, and then trick people into thinking that that's a thing. So
listen to what Holly's saying, guys.
Yeah. Or every single stream, we need to be like, if we hit 50 likes, I will drop test my UCS Falcon off of my roof. I'm kidding. I
didn't say 50 though. I said 50,000.
In our league, if we get a couple hundred, I mean, I would consider,
right.
We're doing
dropping one of the figs or something. But
yeah. Speaking of likes, there's 27 of you in here right now, and I think we got like 14 likes. So what are you guys doing?
All right. So Holly, I think it goes without saying this is a very Kenobi-centric week. So I think we definitely all want to start off as part of our countdown to Kenobi.
See what you did there.
With the
with that forced alliteration. Heck yeah.
And it's it's the best you can do in 10 seconds. We're gonna bring up the sets. Holly, this should be short and sweet, but I gotta say, I don't know about you, but I love when they do these sort of in between summer and winter sets like this, and I love when you can get all of them for less than $200. It seems on this one.
Max, you want to
nice.
really bump me? There you go. I was say put me down here. I'll be fine down here.
I'm also just excited that we have like images already. Like I'm always one for like getting like images like a month or two before with stuff like this because I want to plan where my money's going. Like I'm not one of those people that sticks to one theme. So it's like I can't just buy everything from that one theme on release date. Like no, I've got to plan things, and like having these images early is so good for that. And I'm just so grateful. Like, and I'm so excited as well for all of these sets. Like I think it's going to be one of the best years for LEGO Star Wars in a while. And like I'm very happy.
Shaping up to be pretty great. Go ahead, Sean. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree. And can you go to the box art too, Max? I mean, can we just talk about? I know this box art's been out for a minute though, just this new general design. But like, look at that, man! They are just killing it.
So
it's so nice.
It's the first time Camino has been on like the front box art, I believe, with the Obi, like the UCS. I don't know if it was officially UCS, but the Obi-Wan Starfighter that came with like the ring thing, it had Camino box art on the back of it. But this having Camino box art on the front gets me a little hyped. I'm not going to lie. For shout out to our good friend Rich Boy J, who's going to be having a Camino mock at BrickWorld Chicago. So super excited for that. That was kind of the first thing I thought of when I saw this. I was like, I haven't watched episode 2 in a while, but now that I'm seeing Camino, I'm getting like more hyped for his
rewatch.
I know, yeah. Oh yeah.
I completely agree with Claire, the plastic architect, though, in the chat. I do not like the blue line on the box art, and that's the only complaint I have. Otherwise, it's so slick, but I'm just like, why are we doing original trilogy box art on a prequel set?
There is
and it's like they did the same thing with the clone pack, so I'm like, I feel like I kind of saw it coming, but it's just so disappointing. I was like, it would have been so nice to have.
They did it
like,
to pop? Do you think they did it to pop the Starfighter a bit more, maybe, just disregard
possibly.
it? Yeah.
I just feel like it's weird having Vader in the corner. Like, even if they just switched out the character, I feel like it would be all right. But otherwise, like, I just love how this looks, and it's going to be such a shame opening that box and seeing the new instruction art that completely butchers all of the effort that every single person has gone to in making this set. Like, this on an instruction manual, that would be so nice, but it's not going to happen.
Oh, it's going to have the new style?
So disappointing. I reckon so. They've even gone back and like switched out some of the ones from like March and January. Like there's a couple that haven't been updated yet, but there was some Harry Potter sets, and like the buildable Iron Man now has that new design online. And I'm just like, it looks so bad. It doesn't give like, I feel like the proper credit to the designers and the graphic designers and just everyone that works on the set. I'm just like, it looks so dodgy. Like it doesn't do the set justice at all. Whereas like this is gorgeous. I love it.
That's the only way it lives on, right? Because if you're tossing the box, at least you had it on the inside. I never gave that a second of thought. Exactly. Yeah, wow, that is terrible.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't want to have to keep my boxes again, but I'm going to have to, or at least like cut the front off and just like have the front panel of cardboard.
Yeah,
maybe I'll do that.
So I
Hey,
think we
Max
should
does a
start...
similar thing. No, sorry, Sean.
Go for it.
I was saying Max has started kind of a similar thing, cutting out like the box art and stuff he wants, and he kind of has a collection going on there, like cutting out like just like
poster.
like cutting out like the. Trying to find a good example here, but like cutting off like, okay, this is Speed Champ set, so it doesn't have it. How there's usually like a minifigure, like it shows the fig, kind of like cutting out. Yeah, there we go. Like cutting out the like where the minifigure little square is to make like a little collage or whatever. But I've seen people, like Holly just said, like literally just save the front panel. That way they just have it instead of having the entire box.
I remember a specific example where someone did it with the modulas and then like hung them up on the wall, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was like, that is dedication.
That's a pretty cool idea. No, I like that.
Or speaking of the plastic architect, they could just buy her stickers, and then instead of going through all that, you can just have all the modular stickers.
Yeah, I highly recommend. They're great to put on your water bottle.
There you go.
Great
Little
accessory.
shameless plug.
Shout out to Claire and shout out to Brick Click, friends of the show. Thank you guys so much for the shout outs. Once we start taping things, we should, I'd love to shout you out more formally.
Thanks for the free promo, she said.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Are you kidding me? You guys are tremendous. So Holly, since your name used to have minifig pals in it, we want to start with the minifig pals of this set. And since you're a pro on this stuff, what do you think of this assortment? Now, admittedly, I am not the biggest minifig fan. They're cool. It's not a driver for me. I mean, to me, it's part of the complete package. And I'm not saying I dislike them, but I don't freak out like some people. Sorry, it's just my thing.
However, I'm definitely the opposite.
I look at this and I know there are 3 figures we've never gotten before, and so that kind of thing gets me fired up. Love a droid. I love Kenobi with the new hairpiece, the long robe, etc. The Kaminoan, like it just looks awesome. What do you think?
I love these guys. I think the Kaminoan is definitely a standout for me because I'm like, I just didn't expect us to get it. Part of me though is like still in preference of that like fake mini doll.
Yeah,
the longer neck.
Yeah. I just think like I'm not one for like combining friends and like regular minifigures. Like I'm just like, no, I don't like it. But I feel like in this case it actually would have worked pretty well just because of how tall they are.
Yeah.
But I think they've achieved it really well with the neck. The arms are too short and stubby. Like they needed to have those like long Toy Story arms from like 2010.
The
and
Woody
I feel like
arms.
That would have been perfect. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I would loved if they brought them back. I feel like it would have been perfect. Kenobi, I'm glad they did the brown robes because I just bought that like foil pack one that was in that one like set with Jango Fett and Boba. So I was like, I'm importing this from like Europe. Like I don't want this minifigure to be the same. So the fact that he's different excites me. I wish they did like the mullet piece though, that like the Sirius black and like old Luke hair. Like I think that would have worked better for him because I just feel like it doesn't encapsulate the proper episode 2 mullet. But still, I'm happy, and I love a good droid, but apparently, and if you go into like the 360 image, this droid doesn't have back printing, which is sort of disappointing, hot off the heels of our beautiful back printed R2D2 in the dioramas, which makes me feel like maybe they're doing something like Darth Vader when they did like arm printing Darth Vader, and it's only in like the really expensive sets. And like to me, I'm just like, it just feels like a cop out. Like it's a really good set, it looks gorgeous, and it's got great minifigures, but it's like, it could just be like that tiny bit better. Like we know you have the tools to do it. Why aren't you doing it?
Yeah,
I love them.
I think the most amazing thing though about this set is that it's $30 too. Like they could have easily slapped 40 on it, but piece count be damned. I'm just thrilled that it's 30. Which for us, Holly, we always talk about this. If you don't have to have it the day it comes out, over here. Target and Walmart almost always forget clearance because that's way down the road, but within a month or two they always and out by you too, there's 20% off somewhere. So now
exactly, like we've got like the full sets for 24% off or something on Amazon already. It's like you wait out for that, like you're off to a really good start. I'm never one to wait for clearance. I'm just like, it's too risky.
Adds up.
No, it's never by me. All these times you see these videos where these guys come up on like I don't know, 75% off sets at Walmart. That's never in my area. I never see that. So it's like, because I'm in LA, so I doubt that's going to happen. But anyway, no, I love it. I love it at 30. Day one for me. I'm not waiting for the 24. I mean, that's $6. You know,
I agree. I'm a day one for this one.
You know, some of the bigger stuff that I have like middling interest, I definitely wait for a sale. But this is so like, you know, I'm going on a Target run anyway to get some formula for the kiddo. Throw it in the cart. No one will notice.
Good.
I feel like as well with the cheaper sets, it's like by the time you get like 20% off, like it's really not that much because it's so cheap. It's like if it's one of the bigger sets, like you are much better off waiting, like if you can. It's like these small sets though, just buy it on day one. You're saving yourself like maybe $5 if you wait, which can still help. Every little bit counts. But if you really love the set, like
and I feel like this is one
day one for me.
Yeah, and this is a good one to get early because not only is it $30, I mean it's super popular. It's really easy set to grab. It'll probably go in back order pretty quickly.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's gonna go out of
everyone's
stock.
Gonna be bulk buying for the Kaminoan.
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. And I mean,
and I do think Walmart and Target are gonna sell out fast too because it's so cheap too. You know, like this is gonna be a tough one. I think. I mean, it depends on your region and where you're at and all that, but this might be one to snag on day one if you really want to have it.
That's one of the ones I'm probably gonna like run first when I get like see it on the shelf. Like run, grab, probably with the ATG as well, depending on what that looks like, and run away.
Throw some elbows at them. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can we switch it up? I wanted to show the part where the R4s. That's interesting what they did there. I think that's the other cool thing about this set. So the R4, you can place his head, for a better term, where it's supposed to be, but then the body goes into the vessel somehow, which is really cool. Oh, there's his head down there on the bottom right. I think that's a really cool feature. And from what I hear, that hasn't happened before. Is that right?
I don't know.
It happened on like one old one. I saw an image of like an older set, I think. I wouldn't quote me on that, but I do recall that being a thing. And I'm really glad they brought it back because I thought going for more of like a sleek design, like with newer parts, with smoother slopes, like they probably wouldn't be able to do it.
Right.
So I'm really happy. But I also find it really interesting that the head is attached to one of the spinning plates and not just like sort of stuck on there like R2 was with the Jedi Interceptor in 2020.
Yep.
Like I kind of enjoy that, but I'm also wondering like, is it going to swivel too much? Am I going to have to like try and perfectly angle like his head on there? I don't know, but I cannot believe you did that. Like props to you, Lego, for keeping that feature in. Much appreciated because I don't want to have like half a droid body lying around and then have to worry about storing that.
Yeah, I love having everything all in one piece. You know, the sets that have little micro builds everywhere, especially if I don't care about it, it's just an annoyance, you know.
Something to keep track of.
Such a dumb thing to complain about, but like I like when it's all one tight package that can be moved in one shot. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like same deal with like weapons and things like that. Like having a place to store weapons in a ship or something is fantastic.
Just don't forget they're there like me. I'm like, where's my blaster? You know,
it's like on the Monkie Kid Cloud Roaster. There's like clips for his like staff and the extra missile and stuff on the bottom. I don't know. I probably couldn't see that very well, but yeah.
Holly, have you done any? We ask everyone. Have you messed with Monkie Kid at all, or no?
I haven't. I've come very close several times, especially with that new. What was it like?
City of Lanterns. Yep.
That thing is so nice.
It's a miniature.
It's like I feel like I want to get it just to like build it, try it out, and then probably just like pass it on because I'm like I feel like down the road it's gonna be one of those things where I'm like this takes up too much space. I could have something else here, but I'm
Claire.
like I love what the theme is doing.
I mean, I'm not going to convince you
if
Claire
the creativity. It's so good.
I know Claire's a huge fan.
She's tried.
Yeah, so if she's tried, I'm not gonna waste my. But I don't know. I don't want to put words into your mouth, but like for a lot of people, I think there's so much competition, and it's happening to me too. Like I'm like, nope, I'm going in all in on Monkey, but and I have a lot, but there's so much competition from all the other themes. It's
exactly. I'm trying to be good, and I'm like, I need to cut out all of the additional themes. I'm like, I'll stick to like a modular if I really like it, and then stick to my 3. And like even then, I'm like, all right, Marvel, like you're really slacking off. I'm gonna put you on the back bench, and Star Wars is back in front now. Star Wars and Harry Potter, let's go.
Ninja with the bricks. Walmart. Shout out to the Walmart.
Dude, he'll never let me live that down. And what's crazy is I feel like even though I was like feeling like, oh, I know more about Lego than this Walmart employee, it's looking like those deluxe editions of the Skywalker Saga are I don't know. I thought
They're
there was
not restocking, man. Yeah.
I thought there was another huge restock coming on them, but I guess I just got lucky, which makes me even
I
more happy
could
that I
not
got
believe
it.
when I found mine. It's like I tried to pre-order it, and then like it was pretty early, it was still up, and I was like, oh no, I'll wait a little bit longer. Went to did it, sold out, and then the day the game released, there was like a restock. I was like, I need this right now. Like I really didn't care that much for Blue Luke originally, and then I saw the prices and all of the hype, and I just like, right, let's get it. Ended up with like 2 copies, and then just like sold one off like really cheaply on Facebook Marketplace. I was like, I really don't care. I've got my Blue Milk Luke. I'm fine. And then everyone's been stressing trying to find it. People are like, it's going to restock. I'm like, no, I don't think so. Like they produced those in 2020. Like it's not happening. They're not going to make more.
Yeah. Which is crazy because I was all confident.
I thought they were. I would have bet a large sum because I don't know. I mean, they never did. And, you know, in a way, I'm cool with that. You know, like if you put in a little bit of, I don't like things where you have 0 chance, but this one I felt like people kind of had a chance, and that's cool. You know, it wasn't a lottery system. There wasn't only
you had
200.
2 years.
Well, that and you know, this is what I tell everyone though. Everyone that's even currently freaking out, people have to realize that there's so many Blue Milk Lukes out there. I don't know the numbers, but let's just pick a number. It sold millions of copies. And I did hear that they sold more deluxe than regular editions. So that tells me there's a lot of these Blue Milk Lukes in circulation. Now, they might not necessarily be in Lego collectors' hands. They might be in people's hands that just bought the game to buy the game, and they bought the deluxe so they could get the content, not necessarily the fig. So I'm advising everyone to be patient because you're going to see that thing is way overproduced. Like, it's fine. I mean, this is not limited in any form or fashion, and they just got to let the FOMO run out a lot. Or I could be wrong and it's $200 and whatever, you know, but I just don't think it will be once people understand how
Hidden Brick, if they are still in your Walmart, you need to be buying them all right now and
oh my god,
like get on that. That's like a gold mine.
Oh yeah,
I want to find that.
Yeah, I was super confident thinking they were going to make more because you can still go and find the Force Awakens one on Amazon brand new for like $30. So I was like, there's going to be more. And that's
Force Awakens.
Well, it's just it's so funny how Ninja will never let me live that down. He always mentions the Walmart guy because I acted like this Walmart guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, he won't let me live that one down.
All right, so are we good on this set? Anything else? I wanted to move on either to BrickHeadz or
the only thing,
Scythe, whatever it's
Scythe. The only thing that would make the Obi-Wan Starfighter better is if there was a Boba Fett, Jango Fett slave one to go with it.
Ooh, yeah.
It's the only thing that would make it better because, like, even though they wouldn't be sold together, like, it would just be 2 really good sets to pair with each other. So, yeah, we'll see. Maybe 2023. This thing is sick. This thing is sick. Holly, I know you're not.
I've got mixed thoughts.
Yeah.
And I love the ship's design. The ship's design looks great, but it's just as a Lego set, it's not like completely won me over. But it's like I still like it. It's just not amazing.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for like black and red color schemes. So like the second Kylo Ren shuttle, not the first one because the first one was completely gray.
That second one was good.
Second one, beautiful. So, and also I low key predicted this and we had Shy Time on, I believe, in episode 31. Pretty sure we were talking about the Kenobi trailer, and I was like, they're either gonna make the like headquarters, but it kind of looks a little bit too much like Vader's castle, but they're probably gonna make that little ship they were in. So I wasn't, I didn't exactly predict like, oh, this is what's going to happen, but I had a hunch, and I'm glad my hunch was at least somewhat right. So
I think this looks so good, and when you compare it to Bad Batch, it's like such a blowout for the same price point. Like,
you get less figures though.
They get what I said earlier.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
And again, there's like no like additional side builds. They used sort of like the Bad Batch had. Like they were good speeders, but I didn't need them.
Yeah, exactly.
They were just sort of there. But I really like how like this translated, like looking at it in the trailer and looking at it as a Lego set. It's so well done. That cockpit piece as well looks very clean.
Same one as the Countach.
Solid really. And it's just
Yeah.
recolored.
Just in
Sick.
red. Oh,
That's what I guarantee.
Well,
Josh
good
Build
eye.
Stuff will point that out because there was like
Josh
another
from Josh
set that
Build
had
Stuff.
this, so
Can
that'll
you
be a
clarify?
thing.
That's some good parts usage.
Yeah, that'll be a thing that Josh, I guarantee.
Hopefully he
if
slaps it on
reviews
there
this.
in his video, Josh. Not that he needs ideas. Jeez Louise, his videos are just the absolute best. It's crazy.
Killer.
He's
They
just
so
always
good.
inspire me. It's fantastic.
I love how he.
every time I'm like, goat, this is awesome. Now these figs are just fantastic. I love all of them. I guess people are complaining about lack of a helmet or something. It's whatever.
In the
to
face
me.
on the Inquisitor. I know.
I mean, there's always going to be something. It's Star Wars, right? But it's Lego and it's whatever. But I think everyone would agree it's a pretty tight little package here at $100. I mean, just if you're being honest, what more could you want? Holly, you mentioned you don't love the ship so much. Okay, too many studs. What's the
It's
issue?
just too plain to me. Like I just look at it and I'm just like the ship design looks gorgeous, but as a Lego set, I'm just like the whole thing is just black. Like it's sort of like the tumbler to me, where I'm just like, it's just a bunch of black pieces. But those minifigures are fantastic, and they are the reason why I will buy this once Amazon's put it for 20% off. I'm gonna wait for that. I'm gonna buy it then because I know those figures are gonna be expensive on their own. I might as well just like buy the entire thing, but I'm just going to sit and wait because I want those Inquisitors. They look fantastic. I want Kenobi, even though I know he's going to be in another set anyway. But like the set is nice. It's just not like 100% won me over, but like 20% off.
Maybe Josh Build Stuff will do a review and then it'll persuade you to get it. He's pretty good at doing that.
Josh from Josh Build Stuff says he's stealing the idea. So there you go. Hidden Brick says Holly is the one that got me into joining the YouTube community.
I hope you enjoy it, Hidden Brick, and don't regret that decision.
Yeah. Hope your wallet.
It's fun, I promise.
The reason for the wallet being empty.
Just remember.
I feel like it's really bad. Everyone convinces everyone, and then you end up spending more money. So I hope that hasn't happened like it has to me.
And just remember, you can always sell the stuff if you need to. It's okay. I mean, that's what I tell my wife, right? So
it's all.
It's not like technology where it like depreciates. Like just wait for the set to retire and you can sell it for list or more. Easy.
Right. It's an ancient art form that has thrived throughout the years, and it's now worth more than gold, apparently. So, Claire says, "Speed champions." Yes. Out of context, I don't know what I'm talking about, but yes, Speed champions. They're awesome. I
think it's just because we were talking about the cockpit piece.
About the cockpit. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hidden Brick sticking to just Harry Potter. Guys, Max, your thoughts on this set? I mean, I think it's a winner.
It's going to be bought, but not a day one purchase. As if I buy the ATT and the Starfighter, I'm not spending $300 on this as well. But I'm going to wait for it to maybe hit that sale.
So you're in the same camp as Holly for this one?
Yeah, it's this one or the ATT. So ATT.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, ooh, Cody. It's like looking much more appealing. I mean, then again, got to see what that set's like first before I guess I make any final decisions. But right now I'm like, ATT, Inquisitor. Yeah, we're going ATT. That's my current plan.
Yeah, and the ATT is another one that's going to probably sell out really, really quickly also. I mean.
That's going to be part of August. Well, that throws away everything I just said earlier about a nice, tidy little pack. I didn't realize it was this far out. Okay,
right. Well, we just haven't seen it all yet.
Okay.
I mean, we've got the Mandalorian.
So far, it's affordable
on June 1st as well. So there is like a little drop of one set.
That's true. Well, everyone throw out what I said on that. But either way, for these Kenobi-based sets, we'll just say, the 150 for all of it's pretty cool. You know, like you can grab all that, and it's not like too outrageous, even if you pay full price. I think so.
Yeah, I believe cool. I think the Inquisitors. I don't know who pointed this out. I think it was M&R. The Inquisitor's cape is like longer than like normal. I'm like you can kind of see it compared to the seventh sister, and then. I'm pretty sure that's a new poncho piece for Josh. Speed champion.
So Claire was just basically showing the
It worked.
bat signal for Josh.
Josh is passing. Did somebody say speed champs?
I'm here. What's up? That's awesome. These are tremendous. I love them.
I like them. I'm gonna probably buy
And
this
that Kenobi's different
day
there,
one.
Polly. So you're getting a little value
The
for
mullet.
your 99 there. So if
Like
we
you've
keep
got
them
forks at least at the moment, exclusive minifigures, at least 4 new ones. Like this
High
is
quality
really
minifigures.
good minifigure department here.
Yeah, I think this Obi-Wan might be exclusive to this, even with the other sets that he's in, because I at least know with like
I think so.
the dual set when he's the the whatever, we haven't seen it yet, but it's rumored to be $60. He won't have the same attire for sure, because I think now, not to go into a huge prediction of how the show is going to be, but we've got an 18-year gap and there's like 6 episodes. I'm pretty sure it's like, it's a 6-part series. So I'm assuming the first couple episodes, it'll be the first few years of him. Like we might come right off of Revenge of the Sith. And then it's like by the time we get to the last episode, he'll be, they'll put the aging technology on Ewan McGregor and make him look like Sir Alec Guinness. And it'll be a beautiful thing. So we could cover a lot of years through these 6 episodes is what I think.
It's like you even look at like the box art, you've got a different figure on there for both him and Vader, which is like really exciting.
I just want to get to the scene where Luke's doing the flying thing,
It always looks like he's doing like the whip with like his arm, the way he's steering.
Oh my God,
it's
Holly.
so funny.
Or Max, because Max TikTok savvy. Someone needs to make the watch me whip, watch me. Someone needs to put that in there.
All right, it's a race.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Who will meme it first?
You guys
Please tell me that's in episode 1 or 2. Like that's my activity.
Well, because with Boba Fett, the big meme was La Cabenta. Like that was like the big meme from that. So
awesome.
We'll see. All right, do we want to
anything else in this one? Yeah, you want to move to the BrickHeadz?
I might as well just peep the BrickHeadz. I know they've kind of been. I mean, they've been covered as much as you can really cover BrickHeadz. There's not a whole lot.
We'll go quick.
A whole lot to break into them. I think the most interesting.
Oh, they're not on pre-order. They're not on pre-order.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we don't have. I mean, it's fine. We can.
Just go to this. You got to just go to the Star Wars page and go on like page
Scroll
3,
down.
and it'll be there. But I think it's interesting.
The worst search.
You got to just go straight to the.
Holly,
Star
do you
Wars
agree
tab.
they have the worst search engine on this?
Oh,
website?
definitely. It's so painful. I'm like, why can't you just show me? Like, even just down to the amount of products they put on like each slide. I'm like, why do I always have to like go and like filter things in order to find what I want? Like,
it's like it's okay to tell us it's sold out.
That was the quickest search ever.
Wow.
There needs to be. I don't know why there's not a Lego like app. I mean, I know we're not on a phone, but yeah, guys, these are pretty cool. I think honestly, the eyes on the Vader do it for me. I think, and I believe, I think M&R pointed it out. But if you look at the box art, really and you really look at that little corner box art where it has Obi-Wan and Vader, it's not on here, but on the other sets, it shows like the eyes on Darth Vader as red. So it's like, are we gonna get it? Yeah, so it's like, are we gonna get a new helmet piece for Darth Vader in one of these sets? Maybe.
I reckon so.
Obviously.
I'm thinking on that dual set that's gonna happen, and like that will be the Vader figure, because like I went and like I even tried to see if they like made it before, or like see if anyone had like edited it or something, and it just didn't exist. But so many people pointed out that in Rogue One, like the light reflected off, and you could tell it was red. So I'm thinking that maybe they've based the costume off Rogue One, since that's of course like the next thing after that.
Right,
and that's why we're getting like red-eyed Vader. I mean, I love it. I love how it's like different, it's new, like it's a really big change as well from the original Darth Vader BrickHead. At the end of the day, that's the Darth Vader BrickHead is why I will buy this set, and I'll probably buy it day one just because it's a BrickHead set. Like usually like I can't find them in too many stores here, so I'm just like, it's not going to go on sale. I'll just buy it day one anyway. But I'm definitely not buying Star Wars Celebration prices for that. That's ridiculous. But I'm really glad again that this isn't an exclusive. Like it might maybe we're done with like the days of con exclusives and things like that, which is sort of exciting, but like sort of not. Like if pieces weren't exclusive and it was just a cool con build, yeah, we could do that. But like if they did Darth Vader without those printed tiles, like and made it a con exclusive, I'd be all right. But the fact that I can go out and buy this, I love it. Amazing.
I love that side box art on that box too.
And those con exclusives are selling for like 300 so far. I know there's a couple up right now.
Well, they're asking. I don't know. Are they getting?
Yeah, I guess asking
Asking.
price right now.
Right.
I think they'll settle around 100, 150. Like, but then where it goes from there.
Only go down as we get.
Because remember, no
closer
one's
to
got them
release.
in their hands yet, unless you got some
Yeah.
backdoor sets or something, you know. But we don't know how many are going to be there. I mean, that show's drawing like 100,000 people. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of those. So I always just caution people: just chill out, like let it play out. If you got to have it, do what you got to do. But like a lot of times, this stuff will be on a roller coaster, and in terms of pricing. So just
It's like you can just wait and pay $20. Like I don't
Yeah.
think a set
People
like
care
this
about
is
that
worth
box, though.
paying for it
They're-
early necessarily.
people care about the box though. If you look at Pops, you know they have the exact same pop, but it has the con exclusive, and it makes it 10x
Oh,
the
yeah.
value. It's a thing, man. It's just how it. This is how it goes.
You
All
put a
right, so,
Comic-Con exclusive sticker on there, and there you go.
It's different.
We covered this in detail last week. We're going to switch it up a bit. But I just wanted your thoughts, Holly. I don't know if you've made a video on this already, but speaking of cons, we're going to do our con section of the show tonight. LegoCon 2022. Where are you at on this? I mean, we all saw the mess that was 21. Again, I don't want to put words in
That
your mouth.
was
If
just
you loved
a
it,
nightmare.
good for you. But
Did
can
anyone
they
love
fix
it?
it? Do they care
No
to
one
fix
loves
it?
Hey, if your main jam is dots, then hey, that Comic-Con was for you.
Like I remember, I was like, you know what? This is the first one. Like I feel like it's important. I know I'll wake up at 3 a.m. or something to stream it, and like I'm being lit by like the RGB on my PC at like 3 o'clock in the morning, just
Of
like
dots.
waiting to see what's gonna happen. Like, what's the Star Wars reveal gonna be? Because like none of my other themes were like covered this. So I was like, all right, I'll sit through this. And then the Star Wars event happened. It was just like, oh god, like this, it is dodgy. And like I went to bed before it finished. I was like, look, that's it. I don't need to know about the llama having a DJ. I'm going to bed. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Like it was just weird. Like I know a couple of people were like, with the pre-show intro, like there were some people like poking fun at like the presenters, which I found like really odd. I was like it's not their fault. Like it's
Yeah.
their script sort of thing. But for the most part, like people were just like, why are you announcing these things? And I 100% agree with
Yeah.
that. I was like it just feels very messy and very much just like, yay, Lego. And I was like,
Here we go.
it's
Claire,
just.
it's for kids.
It's for
you
kids,
guys.
you guys.
But
Is
here's
it?
the thing, right?
Was
So
it?
last
Was
year,
it for
like they
kids?
said that it was supposed to be for the like 10 and up demographic, for like people who were like getting out of like their Lego phase sort of thing, which is why I found it really interesting, because I was like going in like this feels like it's made for like 6 to 10-year-olds, not like 10 to 14-year-olds, which is why I think like it failed so much, because it was like they're very much trying to go in with like the Fortnite cheese and like dances and all of that, and I was just like, this doesn't work for the age group you're trying to do it for. So I'm
didn't
hoping that
understand
they've learned from that and also realized that okay, there's a lot of AFOLs and just really passionate Lego fans that also want to watch it. So I'm hoping that they
It's
sort of
ended up.
like do a mix of both. But I'm hoping that it's better. I think they've learned from their mistakes. Like it looks like they've
It
got
can't be the
a lot
exact
more
same.
going on.
It can't be the
Yeah.
same tone deaf thing from last year. It just can't. It has to be better. I would bet cautiously, but that
Even if
gonna
it's
be
for
better.
kids, it was still trash for kids. I don't know. It's
That was the
mean-
thing. Like I was like, I try
Yeah.
to look at it through that lens too, and I'm like, my daughter doesn't really care about dots
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean?
What
Like,
kid is gonna
just
watch a stream for
show
like
some
an
Disney
hour?
sets or
Like,
It was just
something.
like, oh, like watch us build something and stick it on a wall. And I was like even like in all the interactive parts, like felt like it wasn't quite like engaging enough for like a kid even. And then not to mention the stream crashing and literally breaking,
yeah,
which
even
was really funny.
yeah, even from a technical standpoint, it wasn't very smooth.
Even that stuff
So I
I can
think
get
hopefully-
past. That's fine. But
Yeah,
it
I
just
was like,
it
it's
was-
first rodeo.
Yeah, I don't. That part.
Like
it was
I
just-
think this year that they probably would have ironed that out. It's probably going to still be very cheesy again, so I'm not expecting that sort of tone to change, but I'm hoping, I guess, like all of the segments, like hopefully things move like a bit faster and it's a bit more to the point and not quite as like dragged out, and that there's also, I guess, just a lot more on offer from like Lego as a whole, and I guess just some more exciting announcements. If they leak beforehand, like I feel like that's sort of a separate thing. I don't doubt that things won't. because I'm just like, it happens, but I'm like, that's only like a small portion of like really diehard people that are gonna know about that
Yeah, I didn't mind
beforehand.
that.
Like,
Yeah.
as long as it's not, here's like, if they're gonna announce like the Kenobi sets at LegoCon, it's like, okay, well, these are on your website,
Well, that was the
like they're
problem.
on
It was
your property.
officially, yeah, they did officially already announce stuff. Like, I get that they're gonna say leaks be damned, we're doing our show. Like, that's cool. I get that. But if it's already been revealed on the site, like, what the heck?
Yeah, if it's already revealed by you in a catalog, like it doesn't feel quite right. But I'm just like,
it's been revealed. Yeah,
one of the
they love their art too. They kept the same design.
Right.
Yeah, I loved the graphic design of it, like all of the neon. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm glad they kept that. Let's see if they can wipe the stank off of last year's
performance. We need performance that's better.
It was just the fact that it's gonna be like during LegoCon. Like I think Shy mentioned, like we can all make fun of it together since we're all gonna be like at LegoCon while it's happening. So
I think that's gonna be the fun part, but it's also annoying because I'm like, well, can't stream it now. We'll just do a recap video and like grab as many people as I can. Be like, what are your thoughts?
You could do a freehand selfie stream. You know, I don't know, just the live.
Depending on how the connection
like who are watching it and like film their reactions live reaction, everything.
Yeah.
So,
it was on.
We gotta figure out. Yeah, I guess Shy, let us know where this is going down, man. Because I think that you're right. We'll either clown on it or celebrate if it's super cool. Either way, we win. I think so. That's tremendous. I just don't want it to be flat, right? We need to have strong opinions on this.
Yeah, and if they
I want to have some good segments.
Yes. Yeah. Even if there's like, and all it takes, Holly, is like 1 or 2 winners out of the whole thing, and like all will be forgiven. Start with a banging opener, a nice closer, and like decent in the middle. And
I think we're off to a win because we don't have video this year. So like already we've taken out like one of the worst aspects. I'm
they should shout it out though.
Minecraft. Like I love the Minecraft segment.
I was gonna say they should shout it out. They should shout out video for comedy. Just like one little, like start the show with the llama on there, just to get everyone going.
They should just show a tombstone in like a really sad graveyard.
Just have someone in the costume just like in the background the entire time and just not say anything.
And just like have llama like chilling, like hanging his head, like just kind of like twiddling his thumbs. Oh man.
Oh yeah, Avatar's gonna be revealed. That's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah.
That's one good thing.
I reckon that's gonna leak beforehand and sort of like, I guess, take away like the impact from everyone else. But like that's still gonna, if they like can do a really good segment on that, like that's gonna win.
Oh yeah. I thought it was really funny when they did like the little Star Wars video of like that kid in the Ahsoka outfit. Like Ryan's reaction was just like, oh my god. What is this? What is this? Is that a $20? Is that a $20 freaking outfit from Party City? It's like the little the headwear thing was just like flapping in the wind or whatever, and it's just like, what is this paper outfit going on right here? Oh man,
yeah, we're all rooting for it.
Oh yeah, there could be a Fortnite thing. Claire just mentioned how Sans thinks it's going to be Avatar or Fortnite.
Fortnite would be a massive shock.
Yeah.
And speaking of rooting for things, I think it's safe to say we're all rooting.
Oh my god.
As
Holly, do you know about this?
I've seen a couple of things in the chat, but for the most part, I'm like, I have no clue. I'm just gonna take it for what it is.
These
in your chats?
No, in this chat today. I'm like, watching it.
Sean got real excited there.
I'm like, we're making it. We're on home. So it has been. Oh, this is the old version, but it's been 41 weeks since Brent has had beef with Brixie. Brent, I don't know if you want to give Holly the high-level reason of why.
Yeah, what
this Canadian beef?
So I've had to explain it a lot, but for Holly, for you, I'll give you the rundown. It basically it's happened a long time ago. I left a super chat on Brixie's stream. I left Brixie the thief. Who said that, or did you just say that?
I just said
that. I wasn't looking at the chat, but like this was early in my channel's life. I maybe had like 300 subs, and like I literally only asked him like, "What?" Oh, there you go. I literally only asked him like, what advice you would give to a smaller Lego YouTube channel just getting started. Like I didn't plug, like I wasn't trying to like say, "Hey, go watch all my videos and tell me what you think." And like immediately his moderators were like on my tail and whatever. And it wasn't like he still never even, he could have just been like, oh, just work hard and don't be lazy. It could have been like the simple thing. And like honestly, it wasn't even until I asked Eminar the same thing. And this is like before Bricks even had like 100K. Then I asked Ryan the same thing, who has like almost 400. And then he's like, yeah, just don't be like my cousin Corey and play Fortnite all the time. Like, find time to make a video. Just, work hard to make a video. And I was like, oh, awesome. Great. That took you 5 seconds. And cool. And like, for me, it was just like, wow, like a Lego YouTuber who's like 3 times the size of Brixie didn't feel like his head was didn't feel like he was like too good to like answer the question or whatever. But that's the long version of the story. Fast forward to like 5 weeks ago, I didn't even know that Sean was going to do this. He just like springs up this thing like, so we got a new topic. And I'm like, just live on the podcast. I had no idea what was going to happen. I was like, new topic? What are you talking about? And then he just like flips the script. Boom, here you go. He was playing like intense, like UFC, like face-off music. And it was this whole big thing. I was like,
I mean, he's very
what is going
on? And look, Holly, we've been talking about it for weeks. There's still no resolution. He still hasn't gotten his $2 back. So we've actually employed the Canadian Secret Service. We've got a man on the ground now, who's in the Great White North. That's looking to get to the bottom of this and looking to get the $2 back for Brent.
The surprises keep coming.
This is Stu Davidson, I believe, from the Canadian Secret Service. Stu, are you there, please?
We are. Appreciate it, Holly. Thank you for being a 24/7 alibi. We appreciate that. I would just like to say, in fact, the situation in question isn't about Brent's $2. In fact, it is about the interest that has occurred. It is no longer about the $2. Up here in Canada, we take the fraudulent, we take the money laundering serious, and it is about $2.34.
Whoa!
Interest.
Oh yeah.
Is that in Canadian? Sorry, is that in Canadian or is that just the
into
interest?
this matter? Now let's dive into that situation. Brent did ask Brixie a legit question. That question was not answered. Therefore, from that point, the interest has started to occur. We are at $2.54. That is Canadian. That's probably about $2.97, maybe about $17.50 American, somewhere around there. I just want to clear that up a little bit. So, again, Holly, thank you for jumping in. You are a complete, unaccomplished 24/7 alibi. The rest of the West Coast Brick, Sean, Brent, Max, we got a solid panel. So when we go to the Chicago courthouse, I feel like 37 Canadian that is going to be on tap, is going to get rendered back to Brent. No questions asked.
Okay.
Oh my God.
There's
legal people involved now.
Now, a couple questions. So the intent here is just to sort of squash the Canadian beef. Is that right?
I'm just here to mitigate the situation. The Canadian Secret Services, according to Justin Production, has been brought in to coordinate and mitigate the situation. That's what the Canadian taxpaying family goes for. That's what the taxpayers pay for. We're just here to turducken the situation for sure.
Oh my Lord.
There's no "oh my lord" in this situation. The situation
only
is
justice.
about the $2.34 interest
for Brent.
Is going to get paid back to Brent. Right? That's not even a question at hand. That is factual matter.
But the question is, would the Canadian Secret Service also accept an answer to the question, or do they only want the $2.54 back?
Actually, it's $2.37. That's why I'm confused. It's not $2.54. It's $2.37. And we would like to clarify the matter, but we do get
gonna cry.
The Canadian litigation system does have a little bit of gray area. So we don't mind washing a little bit of it under the rug, as long as
there's service fees with this.
Clear, not $2.54, but $2.37 back in Canadian dollars.
Okay, and so from what I understand, you also had men in position in the West Edmonton Mall. Has anyone asked him directly if he intends to meet with Brent at BrickWorld to?
I'm going to be
return or
tickled when
answer
I
the
see.
money?
I'm going to be
Brent, I
so
think
excited.
I wanna
for
Absolutely,
speak for you.
Sean. Absolutely. The hobos were in full force at the Edmontonia Mall collecting spare change for Brent's $2.37 back. I want to clarify that. That wasn't 54 cents interest. That was 37 cents interest.
He
I
goes
don't
by
want
the
to get
law.
confused here because Brixie might not be willing to pay up after his lawyer surcharge
Okay.
on the 37 cents. If he knew it was 54 cents, that could be the definitive matter in the situation, because
Got it.
apparently the $2 has already broken bank accounts.
All right. So this is all going to go down at BrickWorld. We either get the funds as Brent's unofficial representative here. Brent, you'd be happy with getting the money or an answer. Is that fair with that, or do you want to
Need
stick
both.
with the
Let's be honest.
You want both? You want the 230?
No,
cents?
you can't have your
Canada, full
you can't have your
force,
cake and eat
one-man
it
army
too.
is willing to back you up.
It's been a year and a half now, Brian. Come on. You want your $2 and an answer.
No
You want a
comment.
paragraph answer, not just a one sentence.
No
Hey,
comment
it's
as
not
of right
just
now.
a $2
And a
and
hug.
an
I
answer.
want a hug,
It's
too.
$2.37 plus an answer. Let's get real. The interest has occurred. That is the matter. Canada and our gray area in our legality system does not care about the $2. What we care about is the
my
interest
God.
that has occurred.
It's the principle.
37 cents is the actual make it or break it definitive answer in this scenario. If you don't get paid your 37 cents, Brent, you are not a winner. If you just get paid your $2, in fact, you're coming out on the loser platform.
Oh my God! People are hashtagging Team Brent in the comments. What's up, Brick Scene? Good to have you in the chat again.
Holly, do you have any other questions for the Canadian Secret Service team?
The Canada.
If I ever need any help, will you be there to support me? Assuming that I will pay the Canadian legal fees.
No, Holly, absolutely. We do not drink on the job. We are complete professionals over here.
Oh my God! The surprises never stop coming with this whole thing.
Max, any closing thoughts for Stu from the Canadian?
Stu.
All I ask
Stu
for
Davidson
is
or whatever I said earlier.
when we get justice for Brent at BrickWorld, I want to picture Brixie handing over the $2 with the cents dropping out of his hand.
Just
That's
salt
required.
bang the cents.
Yeah.
With a side, I'd like a side hug too while that's happening. I think
Side
that would
hug,
be
maybe
good.
like a kind of
37 cents to be exact, because if you bring 38 cents, that's a whole extra charge. You carry an extra weight, that's an extra charge right up in there.
Oh my
That's true, right? Because from what I understand with the Canadian law, if he does 38 cents, that could be looked at as bribery. Is that correct, for overpaying the debt?
100%. Straight bribery.
Okay. I was just making sure. All right, Brent, any closing thoughts here before we let Stu get back to the investigation?
I mean, I'm just excited to meet my favorite Lego YouTuber.
Stop the cap.
Appreciate it, Brent. I love you too, buddy.
Stop the cap.
Much love to you, Stu. You're the man. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for checking in,
Thank you
Stu.
for your service.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, that was great.
I totally don't know who that was.
Oh God.
The surprises never
What do you
stop
mean you
coming.
don't know who
with
it
this
is? It was Stu Davidson from the Canadian Secret Service.
Canadian Secret
told you who
Service.
he
His
is.
name like
Why are
20
you-
times.
What's befuddling about that? He said the amount 100 times. I don't know what.
No, I just didn't know it was coming. That was very great. The vote macro for president of Canada.
Surprise.
No, I knew it was macro,
Claire,
but that was
The
amazing.
facelessness was terrifying. Oh man. All right. Sorry guys. That stuff's like for us. I hope the viewers enjoy it as much as I do.
No, before
It's so
the
damn
funniest,
funny.
that was a great segment that involves the whole Brixie $2 thing. But are we? I know we're not in our usual setup, Sean. But can someone play the clips?
Yeah, I got it.
So basically, Holly, Max has gone to like 4 or 5 of Brixie's streams and basically like asked him in the comments about the $2 thing, and like Sean loves it. And so we were dying laughing a couple episodes ago because I mean, we've just gotten so many various reactions. Max actually got soft banned from a stream at one point because of the asking for the $2. Is this the
Says
Raja
$2
Studios
back?
one?
What does that mean?
Oh no.
Did I miss something from Brand's Bricks?
Only a
I'm
year
sure you're
ago.
talking about the West Coast Bricks.
This was when he was still calling you West Coast Bricks. See, at some point,
Yeah.
Holly, in these clips, Brixie
Although
starts
Brixie
calling
from-
Max. He starts calling Max West Coast Kids, and I don't know if he's doing it on purpose or he's just trying to like troll him out of like mild disrespect and call him West Coast Kids instead of West Coast Bricks.
I wonder
But-
if he thinks it's like a kid that's just like, hey, you were mean to my friend sort of thing. Like I wonder
Probably.
if that's what he thinks that's
Probably.
like going on. He's like, oh,
Probably.
look at this kid,
It's
just like so
an adult.
confused. Like I wonder
So-
if that's what it is.
But so Holly, even outside of like Max
Giving
doing this
Brent's
stuff, we're hearing.
Bricks. What does that even mean, West Coast kids?
I love that it's still getting brought
I
up
won't be
because
doing
it's
that,
like you
Brent's
know
Bricks.
he's
I don't
just
know. I
so
don't know, man. Where's
confused.
Brent?
I don't know, man.
Maybe.
Oh, this is it's
That's the best
funny.
one. I don't know, man. Where's Brent?
I don't know. So Brett, you're gonna confront him like Vader. You know, it's gonna be good. You're
Dude,
gonna see him
listen,
at the
I've
show.
I've had the idea.
He's gonna be relieved to know who you are and what it's about
No,
at this point.
I've-
And by the way, Holly, this thing's taken out. So friends of the show have done that interaction, but it has picked up. There's like people we don't know hammering to give Brent his two. There's other streams that just
I'm
have it
sure Will's
scrolling
out there.
across their screen. It's
I'm
kind of
sure
taken on a
That's so
life.
good.
So we're
Will
just
Will
feeding
Harper
it.
has been at least probably like 4 or 5 Brixie videos commenting that, I'm sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's,
But no, I
The
want to
best
meet
thing
him.
is, it's like you know that like he's gonna hear like the whole reason to this and just be like, oh, like he hopefully like he'd find the humor in it. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
reckon
Oh,
he
I
would,
no.
and I
Once
think
the
that's
whole
gonna I
thing
think
is
that's gonna be the most
revealed,
amazing
yeah,
thing ever.
that's why it's fun because it's all in good fun. But
No, it'll be.
it's taken off a life of its own, and so like we're going to work trying to get this recovery.
Just
And
need to-
you saw we went the extra mile, Holly. We got the Canada secret store. We intend
Hey,
to.
When I-
he's really going all out. Like
Yeah. So
When I
we
see
we
him
go
at
hard.
BrickWorld, when I see him, I need to be like, Brixie, I came all the way here to squash the beef. I'm not even here for the convention. I came all the way here to squash the beef.
Yep.
But
is
no,
he
I-
actually going though? Because
He is.
I
He is.
guess.
he is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I had
Yeah.
no clue. I was just like, I just assumed that like no one from Canada was coming. I was just
Yeah.
like,
Macro's going.
like would any like I only know of like all the Americans plus like tech, and then like
Hmm.
everyone else. I
Glad we
have
hear that
no
he
clue.
is. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway,
awesome.
It'll be fun. We might get a shirt made up. Brent wants his $2. We don't know what we're gonna do with this yet.
That
So
Yeah,
would
doing
be-
shirt
now you're in the
Well-
loop, Holly. So if you see it, you know what it's about. Probably more than you care
Mm-hmm.
to, but that's what it's about. The $2 phenomenon.
No, I want to
Make
meet
like
him
a
and
sign.
yeah, no, I want to meet him and act like I'm a legit like fan and be like, so what's up with this weird like Brent's Bricks $2 thing? Like, what is up with that? I'd be like, I don't know, man. There's some West Coast kids, dude. It's
And
like
then
doing all
you
this
rip
stuff.
open your jacket and your shirt says
Brent's
Brent's Bricks.
yeah. Or I'm like,
full
hey,
Clark Kent.
can you sign my mug for me? That'd be great, right here. This open
Oh,
spot.
yeah. I don't know how we're gonna do the reveal or if we'll even get to meet him. but
Either way,
whatever.
it's just gonna be so funny, like for me, like because like I'm just gonna be walking through the convention. Sean's just gonna be behind me filming. I'm just gonna be taking a leisurely stroll and be like, dude, oh my god, Brixie, let's go. And I'm like run over to him.
Claire
Even if
says
you get
it's
like
definitely
like a
shirt situation.
screenshot of like the printout of like your comment or something to be like, here's
Ooh.
proof of purchase.
I don't even
Get him to
remember.
sign that.
Definitely a shirt situation.
I
So,
wish I did have
Mm-hmm.
at least like a screenshot of the comment, but I mean, it was over a year ago. I feel like this at the stream, so I'd have to do some digging. But that would be hilarious. I do want to print out. I
Do
did.
it.
This is a complete side note, but I made like an M&R Productions album cover. It was like him on like it was like a kid size Luke's land speeder, and he like. It was in his video where he put his face on the kid, but then I like
I
cropped it
think
to
I
like.
saw that on an Instagram story.
Well, he shared it, yeah. So I made it. So I just cropped it and then put the parental advisory thing in the corner. And I was like, "You guys better get ready. The heat's dropping soon." And yeah, no, he thought that was pretty funny. But I had some people saying like, you should totally like make a like a physical copy of it and have him sign it.
Yes.
So that might have to happen. So
There's just so
Yeah.
many different avenues to explore with this thing. It's unbelievable. Oh, it's great.
It never stops. I love it.
Yeah. Well, that's the Brixie thing, Holly. There
That's
you go.
the best thing I've ever heard. I love that.
Canadian
The
Secret
fact that
Service
the
is
whole
in here.
saga is so
I
good.
mean, you know, he had some heavy-handed admins, and that's what you get, man. You know, they tossed him out for
With a
that.
hammer.
You know? They ban-hammered him over.
Dude, yeah,
asking
Max
what
got
to
the
do.
Max got the ban hammer.
Max
over
got
it.
put
That
in
was-
timeout for
asking.
asking about it too much. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of BrickWorld Chicago, Holly, you will be there. It's going to be
Woohoo!
a who's who. I'm not sure what the haps are on where everybody will be and when, but I'm sure you'll be on the floor. And I don't know what your policy is, but if one of your followers or fans or whatever you call them, want to come say hi to you, just approach you and say hi. How do you prefer
Yeah,
to interact?
literally, if you see me and you can tell that it's me, just come up and say hi.
Say,
Like,
what's up?
I'm a
Yeah.
bit like I'm interested to see how I'm gonna like be in like situations because I know if I'm like at the Lego store or something and like people have come up to me like it's been all good, but I'm like I wonder how it's gonna be in a convention space because like I know sometimes I can be a little awkward in like real life. I think it should be fine, but for the most part, like if you feel like I'm being rude or like cold, I'm probably just really nervous. But like,
Yeah.
come say hi. Like, I'd love to say hi. I also feel like I feel like this is like sort of pretentious, but like I'm like maybe I should like get a Sharpie or something. Like, I'd rather like have one and
Yeah.
never use it than like someone be like, "Can you sign?" like my instruction manual or my,
No, you're
my
right.
fake album cover and like be caught out. So I'm like,
Hell yeah.
I want to make sure that I'm prepared and like
I
ready to
think
go. And
you're-
I'm so excited. It's gonna
No,
be
I think
great.
that's smart, and you know, also, I always advise too when people meet people that they're excited about meeting. The number one thing you need to remember is they're a person just like you.
Yes.
Act accordingly. I can't stress. I'm older now, you know, and I had my freak out moments when I met whoever my hero or whatever it was when I was a kid. But in time, you realize because I end up just talking to celebs, like you get a lot further as far as conversation and value, other than just like screeching and acting different and acting weird. Just calm down. We're a dude or a chick just like you.
You could be
Just
like
go
me the
say
first
hello.
time I ever met Mac Miller. I was like 16 and I was like, dude, you're my favorite rapper ever. I was
never hears that.
He
never
probably
hears
he probably thought I was so freaking weird, dude. Like,
Well,
That's
the
a-
littler the kid, by the way, sorry, the littler the kid, the more forgiving.
well, I mean, I was
Yeah.
like,
I'm
I
mainly
was like
speaking
16,
to like adult
17.
dudes running up to Holly and being like, "Da, ba, da, ba, da." Just calm down. all right?
Yeah, but if
Charlie.
if I was like 13 talking to Mac Miller like that, I'm sure he would have saw it as cute. But like, I was like 16, 17, and like I felt like the awkwardness like after I walked away, and I was like, yeah, I probably made him feel really weird because I was like, dude, you're my favorite rapper ever. Like, but like,
It was
I
like
loved it.
I always
He
love
loved
like
it.
learning like about people. Like if someone comes up, I'm like, I want to know about you. Like, what are your favorite themes? Like, what are the sets that you like? Like, what are your favorite things? Like,
That's awesome.
I like learning about other people. So it's like I'd probably like stand there having like a conversation with someone for like far longer than I like probably should. But like it's so much fun just to like learn about people. So like I definitely agree. Like just treat people like other people. Like I'm just a Lego fan, like everyone else there. Like it's gonna be fun.
We're all
Everyone
people. That's all I
be
stress. Is
calm.
everybody's people, and just
Mhm.
act like a human being. That's all I always say.
Yeah.
Sorry, I believe do we have another quick update?
He's
I'm
back.
sorry, but the
oh
Canadian.
my god,
Stu, is that you? Or are you back, sir? Do you have an update or something, or what's
We
happening?
are been looking into it. I just want to say, commenting on some of this conversation we've been hearing from the Canadian Secret Service.
Okay.
Holly, nice glasses, and I agree. I am a person. I don't want to be treated like a hooker, right?
Whoa.
I don't want people walking up to me, throwing their money up in my face. I am a person. I do run a YouTube channel, and I don't want to be treated like an object. I'm not here to run
Okay.
anything other than the sobriety of the Canadian Secret Services.
All right, thank you.
that's
All right.
okay. That was the
So apparently, Canada has his own YouTube channel as well, which is really crazy. It must be a government channel, Holly. I'm not sure what he was.
No, that's what I think too. And it's probably like security surveillance streams like all day, just to make sure.
interesting. Interesting.
Certainly.
So So anything else on BrickWorld? I guess some of the anything else you're looking forward to, Holly, other than the camaraderie and
Are
just
the
hanging
Lego
and-
Avengers gonna reunite?
Definitely. I think, in fact, that I think slowly as well, like it's just gonna get like larger because it's like there's still like so like I've met most of like my friends now, which is amazing. I'm so grateful for that. But there's still so many people that I've like become friends with that I still haven't met or that I've spoken to and want to meet. So I'm like,
Right.
I'm really excited to just see how that happens and see where it goes. I'm definitely gonna have to get like a bunch of photos with just everyone and of everything that's
Yeah.
happening. I'm going to be vlogging the whole
I'm
week
gonna
as
need a
well. So
visual.
it's going to be so good.
I'm gonna need a
But
visual
I'm like,
guide.
yeah, I feel like it's going to be chaotic and just like a giant group of people like at all times, which is like, it's going to be very fun. Like I'm most excited to just hang out with everyone again and just have a good time all around. Like, it's going to be fantastic. I'm also like making sure that I'm able to go and get my Lego store stamps from the Lego stores around, and I want to
Yep.
go to like Bricks and Minifigs, which again, I'm excited just to see all the retired sets and just like old minifigures and spend money that I probably shouldn't spend. It's fantastic.
There needs to
gonna be
be
great.
a massive group picture, like a huge, like when you like sort of when you like boot up the Skywalker Saga and it has like all the characters like at the start screen. There
Even
needs
the
to be
small
that.
irrelevant ones. Yeah, that would
Just
be
Well,
we'll
like-
like get some chairs and like stack that, or we make a
Oh,
human
yeah.
pyramid. That could work.
Ah, there you go.
Go on those elementary school
I'll be the
podiums, all the risers.
Yeah.
I'll be the unnamed NPC over on the end, going like, "Hey."
It would be so funny.
That's awesome. Anything else, Brent, on BrickWorld? I mean, I kind of just want to take it in. I feel like, Holly, this one for me is just learning, just kind of
Yeah.
learning the ropes, going wherever the wind blows me. I don't really have plans. I'd like to come up on a steal of a deal or something, but I think it's going to be pretty competitive. So I'm just like,
I definitely think so too. I'm
whatever.
like,
I would
if
like
I
to
don't
get-
buy anything, it's fine.
I would like to
Probably
get
better for
drunk
my
Saturday
luggage
night.
too.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing.
Saturday, I'm drinking heavily. I know that. Saturday night, I'll be drinking. That's happening.
Well, it's a good thing you have all the new Potter sets, Holly, because they're all coming out like the weekend of BrickWorld. So
I'm so glad that I'm not gonna have to like line up early that morning and like
Right.
bring them all back and then stress after like getting all of them to get stuff done. I'm like, okay, I can breathe. It's fine. But I'm also really hyped to like for people who do go and buy them that weekend, if they like go and like which one to like just learn which ones like did people pick up, like have you built any, like what are your thoughts on everything, because like for me personally, like Grimald Place, that one is beautiful. Do I think it's probably worth the price it is? Not really. I feel like just $10 less, perfect. But like that one is definitely my favorite. So I'm interested to see if like people felt the same and like went to go get that, or did they go and get something else? Like that's always my favorite thing is like what are people buying? Like I'm excited to find all that out, and I'm glad that I don't have to stress that weekend about that. It's gonna be good.
Now, do you have the new BrickHeadz, the Hogwarts Professor BrickHeadz that's coming out?
I do not. That is the only set that I need to go and get. And I'm apparently it's supposed to be June 1st. I know I was speaking to a Lego store employee yesterday about like when they're going to come out here, and apparently that's going to be the 9th in Australia, or they're supposed to arrive on the 9th. So I've got to get them, got to pick them up. I love the look of them. They look
the Moody,
very
the Moody especially. Yeah, that's probably my favorite one out
McGonagall's
of the
my
four.
personal favorite out of them.
Oh yeah, I like how they have
impressed.
I like how they put like one of those like golden rings kind of as her like little necklace, like the detail for the necklace. So yeah, super cool.
Good.
I like him. Sean doesn't really like Harry Potter that much.
He's trying.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's not that. I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding.
Holly, here's my Harry Potter rundown. I'm a little older, but that's not the reason why. So I watched the first one in the theater. I loved it. That's it. I mean, that's my history. So because I know myself, and I feel like there's a lot of crossover between Star Wars and maybe Hobbit and these big franchises, and everybody I know that's into those things loves Harry Potter as well. So a couple Christmases ago, iTunes had this deal where it was like all 8 of them on digital for 50. It was a good deal, whatever it was. I'm like, oh, finally, now I can, because I certainly wasn't going to buy them all on Blu-ray or whatever. So I was like,
Yeah.
all right, got it. Holly, I have tried to watch part 2. What is it, Max? Like 4 or 5 times now. I cannot get past the first half. I just can't. I don't know
It
if I'm in
might be the
wrong
worst one
mindset.
though out of all 8.
And he
let's be
keeps
honest.
saying just power through it and I'll be fine. But dear Lord, does that bore me? And I've had to rewatch 1 a couple times because I let a year pass and I got to refresh. And
I
it,
love
it's like
Sorcerer's
and it's
Stone.
weird because it starts interesting with what's the gremlin guy's name in the
Dobby.
Dobby. I know it's probably sacrilege for you guys.
It's fine.
But
It's fine.
but so I promise I will.
He has an
power through
amazing
and I'll
character
provide
arc.
a-
By the time you get to the
See, I
last
think-
movie, Sean,
Shibba-dabba-dabba-dabba. I don't want, but I still don't want.
See, I'm very
story.
much like if you get to like the end of 3, because like 3 is where things change and sort of sets the tone for the rest of it. Like if you can watch the 3rd one and are like, no, I still can't do it. Like, yeah, quit at that point.
Then we're good.
Right.
It's like the first 2 were very just like they're very heartwarming and they make you feel, I guess, like all warm and cozy. But it's like they're also
gets
quite
darker,
cheesy.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
like it's still like very much
love
like this
it.
is a
Yeah,
kid's movie,
so
and then
I
the tone
just-
shifts, and that's when I tend to enjoy it more. Like the
I
3rd one's
will-
definitely my personal favorite, and
Yeah.
the story gets more interesting too. So if you can power through, or even
Yeah.
watch half on one day, and then watch the second half of it the other day,
yeah,
All right.
like I think
break.
you're on
Yeah,
good.
you could
If I won't
100%.
do it for Holly, I won't do it for anyone. So I will do it. I
Sit
need
down
to,
with
'cause I
a
wanna be
Lego
involved.
set. Set the
What's what I
mood.
mean?
Yeah.
I want to be involved. Well, that's the other reason, Holly. If I'm being honest too, like I know myself, and if I watch it and I like it,
No,
uh-oh.
no, that's
I
exactly
need
what I'm
Diagon
like, and
Alley. I
that's
need
why I feel
Hogwarts,
like
honey.
Well, I already
why
want Diagon
watching
Alley
Rebels
'cause
has been a
it's-
problem. I'm just like, no,
Yeah, so
That's a
like
bad problem.
I already want some of those sets. I bought the brick built
Mm.
characters because I want those for Star Wars, but these are the first ones that came out and they were half off, so I bought them, but like and I know I'll like it. And I go to Universal all the time and I drink butterbeer and I go, I kind of get half of this stuff. I feel like I'm missing out on something. I gotta dedicate my time through powering through part 2, whatever it's called, the Shadow of the Wizard or whatever it's called.
It's called the Chamber of Secrets and Prisoner of
I'm just
Azkaban. It
kidding.
comes right after that, and Prisoner of Azkaban is my favorite
Hey,
one.
Shadow
by
of the
far.
Wizard wasn't that far off, all right?
Shadow of the Wizard would have
Kinda.
been a cool
Shadow of the
title. I
Wizard
guess.
sounds like a dope
It
sequel.
feels like it could be one.
See, that's
Yeah.
So all right. So, anyways, to clarify, I don't hate it like Brent hates Brixie. I just
Oh.
haven't given it.
That's a lot of hate.
No, I understand. It's like I feel that same way about like
What?
so many other things. It's like I could say the same thing about like when it comes to like episode 8 and 9 of Star Wars, and I mean a lot of people are on my same wavelength about that. It's just like, look, I enjoy the universe, I'm enjoying the characters, not quite where they and what they're doing, but look, it's all right.
Have you not seen them?
I'm just like,
or you just don't like
I
them?
have, but I'm just like, I don't want to
Oh,
go back and
that's-
rewatch them. Like if I'm doing a Star Wars marathon, like luckily I can watch everything up until that point and then just stop.
Call it quits.
Got you.
That's how I
Yeah,
mean.
no.
Star Wars theory, literally, he in his head, like 7, 8, 9 are like not even canon. In his like,
See,
in
I'm
his
not
head
that
canon.
like dramatic. I'm like, no,
Right.
that's a thing that happened. I'm just like, no. And that's all right. I mean, it's like with anything, it's like there's things that you're going to enjoy and there's things that you're not going to enjoy. Like, there's no point in beating up people, be like, oh, you don't like the same thing as me. It's like,
I'm in the position
have
where I
different
wish
opinions.
I wish I did, and I'll make an effort to do it because I know I'm missing out, and I know I'll love it, and I'll know I'll want to get into the lore and all that. I just need to. It's just daunting now. But I'll tell you, here's another fun fact. What was it, Brent? This summer, so when we had last summer, geez, our soon-to-be 1-year-old baby boy. Shout out to Hux. I had some time off to be home with my wife and help her out. And I dedicated myself to watch the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. I just hadn't done it because it was, by the time I realized what was going on, it was too daunting. I looked up and there was whatever there is, 22 movies. Now I had seen Iron Man and Captain America, whatever the first 3 or 4 were, and I loved them. But it had been so long, and I'm like, so that's why I'm looking at this. I'm staring uphill on 7 2.5-hour movies, and I'm just like,
Yeah, but that's a fraction of all the Marvel you have to watch.
no, I
see,
know.
that's one thing
know.
I like about Harry Potter is that I'm just like, all right, it's like you've got the 8 movies, like you don't really
Yeah.
have to care about Fantastic Beasts and like the stuff that's continuing on. Like you've got your 8, like
Right.
you're set. But it's like I
Right.
look at Marvel now, and I was saying this the other day. It's like gotten to a point where you can't even just like watch one movie anymore.
Right.
like you're gonna have no clue what's going on. It's like that is a very
Marvel?
daunting
Yeah.
task for anyone who hasn't started it. It's like at this
Yeah.
point, it's like I question even if it's worth it just because of how much stuff you have to watch these days. I'm like,
Yeah.
like I'm grateful that I started when Avengers came out, so I only had like 5 or 6. Like, I was very lucky, and now it's crazy. Like I think that is a perfect time to have started that. It's like if you didn't, you're screwed.
Now you can watch all the show. Like I just watched the first episode of Moon Knight like today, which is pretty good by the way. Shout out to Oscar Isaac for being a great actor.
Hey, Oscar.
I'm sure he might be. I'm sure he might be watching
all the Office memes.
Thanks for your support, Oscar. Super chat.
Oh, didn't you guys know that Canadian Secret Service was actually Oscar Isaac?
We did. We hired him. Yeah. So.
It broke the budget, but we did it.
Great Canadian
Very much so.
Too on that. That was funny.
Canada.
Yeah.
Oh man, the Topanga one. What is Shy talking about?
I
Topanga.
don't know. Holly, when I reached
Yeah,
out to
Lego stores in
you,
LA.
when I reached out to you again this last time around, you had just cut the amazing land breakup video, and I know if you're sick of it at this point, we can skip over. But if you want to give us a few minutes, has there been any? And that's what we call the land thing. Well, you've seen the chatter. I know you're around the community. You're watching vids, just like we all are.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about that. Everybody's talking about you specifically. They're talking about Ryan. They're talking about the most notable Lego YouTubers in the program. Anything you want to add? Any developments? Any exclusives for a couple of BrickHeadz, or is it all pretty status quo?
Everything's pretty much been like mostly the same. It's like I've just been patiently waiting for my meeting at this point, which is I can gladly say is supposed to happen on Monday for me, which I'm very excited about. Because I'm just like
Monday.
Finally I can I can hear from them. Because I'm just like at this point, I'm just like, I just want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear like how you as like an individual like justify your decision, because it's like I just want to understand it more like from my side of things. Like I'm just like I want to hear from you, from your mouth, like hear you justify it, and then like once I've done that, like I'm happy because like I feel really good like not being a part of it. Like I'm just like I've like tried to set up my channel in a way that I didn't lean too much on it, because for a while like even then I would be like, oh, it's a bit unreliable, like you like especially in regards to like the press kits that you'd get, like things leak all the time. It's like you're probably not going to be the first to break news or things like that. And then when it came to like reviewing things, like there was even some cases where like your embargo would be set really late in the month and people would find it early. So it was like, again, I was like, I don't want to lean too much on this. Like, even then, I don't want to be solely a review channel. Like, I like being more creative and having more fun. So like sort of hearing that it was like, oh, you're not going to be a part of it anymore. I was like, okay, well, it doesn't affect me too much. Like, it's definitely something I want to tell people just because like at the end of the day, it does affect parts of the channel. And I feel like it's important to let people know. But it's like a couple of months ago, I was sat down and like, there was some discussions happening on there, and I was just like, you know what, like I don't know how much longer I can sort of do this. Like I'm thinking about leaving, and I'd even spoken to a couple of people saying, yeah, like I'm thinking this. And I was just like, look, I'll try and stick it out, see if some changes happen, or is it going to be the same? Like give it a couple of months. So it's like, it definitely wasn't like a foreign concept to me not being in it. I never saw it as a forever thing. It just feels like it was cut a bit short. And I just wish that I'd like been told straight off the bat, like for them to say it was serious and not tell me is sort of like that's what annoys me the most. Right. Because I'm just like, I feel like the program, like just the people running it, I'm just like, I feel like this favoritism. Like, I feel like there's just not great communication, but also it only represents one small portion of the company. So I try not to let it sort of turn. Like, I still love the product. I love the retail stores. I love the secondhand retail stores. I love the community. So there's so much that's like out there with Lego. And like, I think I'm hopefully down the line, I'll be better off. But I think it was definitely also something that did benefit my channel. And I think was good for it at the time. But also I joined and it was a very different place to where it is now. So... And also I'm, again, a different person than I was when I joined. So I think it's probably better off that we're going our separate ways. But yeah, I'm very excited to have that meeting next week. Hopefully they still show up to it and didn't be like, oh, we're not going to talk to you after you made a video sort of thing. Because I just want an answer from them at this point. So I can really just put it behind me and keep going.
You've grown apart. You know, it's not a big...
Mhm.
You know, well, that's good. So you're just looking for answers and closure. It sounds like at this point.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
What,
And I feel
so
like it's important as well for other people to realize it's like if you are someone that like that's a goal for you, like that's still an okay thing. I would just make sure that like you are like really aware of what you're getting into, and that like sometimes like Lego might promise you like something for being in that program and it might not happen. But also I think that people also need to remember that you don't need that program. It could definitely help people, but there's also like channels that I feel like it's not benefiting as much as probably it should. But yeah, I think it's an interesting program. I don't regret being a part of it, but I also like I'm happy that I'm not a part of it anymore. It's a
Well,
weird
it
thing, but yeah,
gives you a little more freedom, though. I feel like. I mean, like you don't have to.
definitely.
You know, I don't know. You know, it's been so long. I feel like since Ryan got booted out or however that happened.
Because I
But
feel like that was really the start of like when things like really started to change.
I didn't
Like
even know what
I
it
was
was
like,
till that. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it was like
wasn't really on
because
my
like when
radar.
I joined, it was like you can talk about like a leaked minifigure. It was basically just don't show any photos of it. And then like that all changed and the rules got stricter, and then they sort of took some of them back. And then I feel like just things started to get a bit more like strict on what you can and can't talk about, like even just regards to Lego as a company, which is something that I like to talk about in general, like sort of discuss their marketing, discuss like what the designers are doing rather than like only the product. So I feel like
Right.
that's again something that it was like difficult for me being in it. I felt like I had to constantly sort of like walk on eggshells or really watch what I'm saying in order to just not upset people or get in trouble or something, because it's a self-policing program as well, which I think is an issue with it. But I mean, I don't think they're going to change that anytime soon. But yeah, I'm
By
glad
that,
that
do you mean
I can
by
do what I want.
self-police? Sorry, by self-policing, do you mean it was like up to other land members to sort of rat out other land members? Is that
Yeah, for the most part, it's like
Okay.
the people who are like working in that program, like they wouldn't typically, or at least I felt the way that they wouldn't really watch what like their members were doing. So like whenever you would get sent a set, whether it be like a review copy or one of the ones you
Right.
can request, you would have to submit a report and provide like links to whatever
Right.
content you produced on it, even if it was like a supporting Instagram post. And I think I'm like, how much are you really watching? Like it feels like they're watching some people and some certain things, but for the
You
most
can't
part,
watch
it's
it
like,
all, right?
yeah, it's like like a land member, like maybe they feel like they've got something to gain. Maybe they just want to do it in general. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know people's motives, but it felt very much like it was encouraged to sort of call out other people if something was wrong. It's like there was one case where I saw someone post a review early, but I'm going to go to them at that point. Like I never felt like I needed to run towards the company. I was just like, no, I'm going to tell you directly, hey, I think this is a bit early sort of thing, and let you like sort it out. I personally felt like there was nothing to gain. Like I don't want to like snitch on people. I don't want to like lie just to try and get more free product at the end of the day. Like I feel like that's sort of what it is. And I'm just like, I can spend money on sets. I have no problem with that. I do enough anyway.
Right.
So, but
Well, that's what
yeah,
I
it
was
was
gonna
just
say.
it was
So,
a
like,
it was weird environment.
a lot of people are saying like people do it for the free sets, and I feel like maybe initially that's the case, but then it sort of becomes work, right? Because you also have to do things.
Exactly.
And you've mentioned it. You're like, this isn't necessarily my jam, but I got to review this thing, and it kind of makes it
Yeah.
tough. And then I think when you reach a certain point, like you have and a couple other folks, when you're making enough maybe on monetization or partnerships, it's like you don't need the free set. And I was thinking maybe the only benefit, which has kind of been tampered with too, was being team early and getting stuff early. But as you mentioned, there's cases where unless you're getting it 2 months early or something like that, where there's no chance it's hit shelves, you know, I
Exactly.
mean, but then you're embargoed to death and then you can't. But I mean, to me, was that one of the last great benefits, if it worked, was to get stuff early, because that helps with clicks.
The early factor was the like one benefit, I think, for me. And I even had said that to them on the forums. I was like, look, it's not the free product that is benefiting us as people. Like that's not why we're complaining. We're complaining because our main advantage is being early to something. And
Right.
it's like, I mean, I'm not a news channel, so I think for people who do cover news, getting the press kits and things is probably a big advantage. Or for streamers, like being able to request sets and then you can have content to build while you're talking to your community and things like that. But I was like, well, I'm not like, I do live streams and definitely that did benefit me. And even when I was in the program, I would try and be very, I guess, just transparent about, hey, this is how it works. Here's what's happening. Oh, this was a conversation that happened. But like, again, it's like you don't get to pick what you get sent. And only recently did they sort of do a survey saying, what things are you interested in? So it's like you'd sometimes get offered sets. Like I would decline things. I was like, I don't think this is of interest to like people watching. And there'd be stuff that I would get and then give away because I was like, I don't like need this. Or I think definitely people look over the part of like it's, you've got work to do. Like, yeah, you get your stuff early, but there's an agreement behind it. If you're getting it early, then you have to provide a report. You have to get all these analytics. You have to write like a detailed, I guess, just like paragraph of what you and everyone else thought about the set and things like that. So it's like, it's definitely like a contract to it. Like, don't get me wrong, the financial advantage of not having to purchase stuff was fantastic, but it's not enough, I think, for me to justify like being in an environment like that, because I'd much rather sort of have my freedom and like my mental health do better than sort of be trapped in that. And that was one of the reasons why I was like, yeah, I'll probably leave this year anyway.
So I mean, because people that are putting together videos, particularly those that are, you know, there's some big time TLC and you know who they are, you know, they're taking 4, 6, 8 out, whatever it takes for them to cut together, say, a review video. Like, I'm sorry, but a $100, which is really $40 now at Costco, Boba Fett's Palace is not worth 8 hours of work if it's something you didn't want to do anyway. Now, if it fits your channel and you want to do the Boba Fett Palace, cool. But if it didn't, that's a lot of work, especially for something you then have to feign passion about on top of it.
Definitely.
You know, to get a free set. So, you know, I've always felt like the narrative was wrong. You know, I think for people that first get in and they're on the come up, sure, it's appreciated to get free Lego, but then it becomes just more of a job.
And I also think at that point, as you're smaller as well, like it's going to help you grow if you're posting, I guess, of a wide variety of things. But I've also seen like some people get like the strangest offers, like their channel will be focused on one theme and they won't get sent that, but they're like offered another one. And at the end of the day, like you can choose what you want. But yeah, some people I feel like will pick things just because it's being sent or just because hopefully they can like grow from that. And to that, I sort of think like at the end of the day, it's your channel. If you want to accept it, that's fine. But I sort of question, I'm like, if people are coming for like a certain type of theme or genre, like I feel like if you branch a bit too far away, then are those same people going to be as interested? Like, I don't know. I just hopefully stick to the same type of theme and not really branch out too much, because like if I'm not passionate about it, then I don't think it's going to come across in a video, and I don't want to sort of just fake it just because I have to in order to get some free Lego. Like it's not worth it. Plus I've got limited space. You can't take everything. I can't buy everything. Like it's good like that.
So you've been able, you've unleashed that on the YouTube community, Lego YouTube community. You've probably seen a million comments and you've seen some reaction videos. Brixie made a video about it, but that was in response to Life of Lego. I don't know if you've seen that stuff.
I've seen a couple of things, and for the most part, I've just like sort of
videos? Oh, okay,
for the most part, I've just sort of watched from the background. I'm like, I think I watched one initially, but more so I would like read and listen to comments because I found that more beneficial and more interesting just to see where people's mindset is and where people's heads are. Yeah, because it's like it's all fun and games, like watching one person sort of say their piece or say their opinion, but it's like, okay, but what about the greater, I guess, audience? Like, what are people thinking? And especially like even before I'd posted my video, it was shocking the amount of people that just like said to me, they were like, oh, like I much prefer watching Jang, or I much prefer watching MNR because they're not affiliated with them at all. Like even people before I'd even said anything were like, oh, it's good, but like you're not gonna like potentially be influenced or anything like that anymore, which I think was like really interesting to hear, because it's something that I didn't really think too much of, because I definitely tried to just stay true to myself. And I was like, no, like there's no point in me lying because I'm like could directly influence someone's purchase. And it's like, I don't want that on my conscience being like, yeah, this set's amazing, when in reality it's a waste of money and you're probably not going to enjoy it. So like I tried to stay true to myself. So like I always felt like it wasn't too big of a thing. But at the end of the day, if someone isn't going to trust me because I'm getting sent stuff or I'm affiliated with a company, like that's okay. Like I'll do my hardest to try and show that you can, but I can't change your opinion, and that's fine for me. But it's really interesting seeing everyone's feedback and things like that. And I think like I definitely feel like I have to take some credit just for explaining like my experiences and like what I felt and what I've like heard from them. But it's interesting to sort of see people be like, yeah, I don't really like feel like the people are honest. And I honestly think as well, a lot of that isn't just on people's opinions on sets. I think that's what people sort of jump to a lot. But I think more so like the audience and other consumers as well are talking more about like the program as a whole. Like, do they feel people are being honest when they talk about things like,
about the brand.
Exactly. It's like, okay, well, you're a part of this program. Like, what's going on behind closed doors? Because people don't know unless someone's going to come forward and say, oh yeah, here's what happened, or here's what's going on, here's what people are talking about. Like no one really talks about it. And they've said before that it's sort of like I guess a safe space, like what happens on the land stays on the land. It's more so I think just a way of getting people not to like screenshot people's comments and like plaster them, which I sort of look back now and I'm like, feels a bit dodgy. Like I feel like people should like have active conversations, because at the end of the day you're supposed to be representing everyone else as a ambassador. So it's been really weird sort of sitting back and watching, but I'm just like, I'm happy with where I am. Like I'm not upset, so like no one I guess should be angry. I don't know, people can have their own opinions, that's fine. Like you're entitled to that.
I just didn't want to know if it was on your radar, but I mean I will say from everything I watched, 80-90% of it had your back, you know what I mean, on that, if that matters to you. But
there was a couple of comments which I found kind of funny, and I could tell that they didn't make it past like the first 30 seconds where it was like, use crocodile tears. I'm like, that was a Snapchat filter, and I explicitly said that was a Snapchat filter. Like it was a gag at the beginning, but like,
I thought that was an Australian joke. I didn't know
it got me for a second at the very beginning.
There was a couple of people that were like, yeah, that got me, and then I remembered it was a filter. I was like, yeah, and like you could tell that they were there. And some people, of course, are like, oh, you're just annoyed about like the free sets. I'm like, you didn't get to the part where I talked about like how it was about like how I'd gone through. But for the most part, like I was nervous before posting that. Like I was sort of shaking. I was like, oh dear. But like I think I'm really glad that I didn't act off emotions, and like I feel like I got my point across and people understood for the most part, and that's I guess what's important to me at the end of the day, that like I was able to do so in a way that I felt was like respectful and not overly emotional or like personal or things like that, and also just like let people know what's going on, because things do affect them.
I loved Ryan's comment on your video where he's like Lego puts the L, or Land puts the L in Lego. That's what it was.
That one was funny. Another one of my favorites was like, from what I've heard about Land, congratulations. Like I found that one pretty funny as well. Like there were some good ones on there, but yeah, it was really interesting overall just to see people's, I guess, thoughts and opinions and reactions. Because I feel like not many people talk about the program as like a whole. Like, and I doubt people will now. I personally feel like worried for everyone else who is still in there, because I'm just like, do they feel like they have to be extra cautious now? Like, do they feel like they I guess can't say certain things or can't speak about the program or the company in general? Like I worry for them, because I'm just like, I feel like everyone's sort of in trouble. Like it very much feels like they sort of want to like cull it down and make it like a smaller group in general. Like part of me is wondering if they feel like they let too many people in and are sort of now trying to control it. So I feel worried for them. I hope that everyone who is in it is just being careful, but also I hope they know that it's not the end of the world.
The land purge. They're just going through and they keep a closer eye on the ones they want to boot out. Because I believe
good.
I'm pretty sure there was like, because I know that I'm pretty sure they told Ryan that there was like 3 strikes. Like he had like three things that happened where he got flagged each time or whatever. But I'm pretty sure one of the times was he just said that something that Lego did was stupid, and then that's when like they kind of like went in to tell him like, hey, you can't say that. And it's like, I can't say that a decision that was made was a stupid decision. So I don't know, but it's like, would somebody else who didn't get as many views, if they said that, it wouldn't be a big deal. I mean, I think there is
like
like,
that's what I
especially,
wonder as well. Like I'm just like, oh, if you're a smaller, like if you're on the smaller side of like inland, like would a lot of this stuff sort of go unnoticed or things like that? But
Yeah.
I also understand it's like it's Lego's program, like they can do what they want, but it does also feel like they sort of change the rules like very often and sort of, I
Yeah.
guess, pick and choose like when they want to enforce them, which I personally don't agree with. Like at the end of the day, I can't change anything, but like to me,
Right.
I'm just like, it feels a bit weird.
Well, with losing M&R and then like Just Too Good,
Mm.
like volunteeringly leaving, like combined, that's almost like 1 million subs. Like if you think about how
Definitely.
many Justin has and how many Ryan, that's like a combined like 1 million subs that was watching their videos. And I don't know, but I mean, I guess it's not a.
I mean, it's
Is
like
it a
I learned
numbers
about the
thing?
program from Justin saying like and mentioning it in the first place. So it's
Right.
like I feel like for them, it's sort of like having, I guess, just people like that with that much influence not being a part of it. It's like you're not really like spreading the word that it's a thing. And like
Right.
I also never felt like one to like I was never a person who was like I don't really want to like say Lego ambassador and things. Like if you do, power to you, but I was just like I don't want it to like heavily, I guess, just like affect my channel or anything like that. Like I want to sort of business as usual unless it's like something I need or want to do.
I also think one of the lessons too is that like, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I mean this like it's sort of a from the corporate side of things that their attitude is everybody is replaceable. And sometimes
Definitely.
they'll just look at everybody as a number. And I'm not saying that's the best way to approach it because, Brent just named all the subs that collectively, let's say you three and whoever else is out now have. Their mentality is, oh, we'll just replace them with 2 or 3 that have the same amount to equal this, if that's really what they're about. But what they're missing is the personal connection that you make with your specific audience and all the hype that you drove there. And that's what sucks about it, because at the end of the day, it's a very transactional, unilateral relationship that you had. You got your sets and you got them early, and whatever your fringe benefits were, they got very, very, very inexpensive advertising. Like
Definitely.
I mean, you doing what you did was a bargain. As someone who does this stuff all day, your reach and what you do in your community and your influence, like, holy cow, that was a deal. But they know you're so passionate about the product, and I don't want to say took advantage, because you've thought about it. You're like, wow, I'm
No,
not
I've
making
definitely
much on
considered
this.
that as well. I just sort of look at it and I'm like that's why I question why they don't do, I guess, sort of like a typical like influencer press release, like PR sort of like send out. It's like I mean they've done it a couple of times. Like I know with Mario, like a family vlogger that my mum watches got sent some Mario stuff. So it's like they definitely do it, but I'm surprised that they don't sort of lean more into that because of that. And I do think that they sort of like take, I guess, like people's passion and people's drive. Like they've got a line of people like wanting to be a part of the program. So I think they do sort of take that and are like, okay, well, like you're very passionate and you love this brand. Like we're gonna like sort of, I guess, play on that and hope that like because of your passion, like you're gonna believe us, you're gonna like play by our rules,
100%.
you're like gonna speak great about us all the time, sort of thing. Like I do think that there definitely has like part to it, and I've been very aware of that because there are so many people in the program. Like I think David Hall, Solid Brick Studios, is now the biggest creator, or has been in that program for a while now. And it's like someone with his size and his reach could be making thousands of dollars off like being sent stuff like that, like that influence.
Post, right.
Yeah. And it's like they are definitely, I guess, like, I mean, he's getting sets and he's very happy. He's getting good deals and getting to work with them, which is fantastic for him. But it's like also like that power of influence, like many people would pay a lot to get access to. So I feel like they do sort of overlook that in some regard. And I guess like the connection, and like they do talk about community a lot, but I don't know if they fully recognize it or recognize just like what is going on with like the influencer sort of culture. And I think that's as well why they sort of tag it along with like all the other stuff they do for Loves, which
Yeah, so I mean, it's clearly it's a marketing program, obviously. It's not about the only sense of community is leveraging your community, you know, into their back into their funnel, you know. And again, it's transactional. You've built a platform off of your love of that product, so you've used that to get where you're at. There, you know what I mean. And using sounds so
Exactly.
dirty. You know? It worked for a while, and you're still able to do what you do without having being so tied down. And now you're free to get different paid stuff. You know, I want you to get paid. So I mean, you know, if you, and I know you have, and you're doing great there, but now that opens you up even more to do that with some more time you have, like your Wicked Brick stuff, or you know what I mean, all these fringe things, and you can pick and choose, and you won't have to be in a position to push something you're not passionate about. That being said, I thought you did a fantastic job, even when it was sets that, you know, I was like, this is weird. Oh, I know why. Okay.
Yeah, one of my favorite ones was when they sent me like the Marvel mechs after I made a video saying I hate the Marvel mechs. I found that really interesting. And like I was originally going to decline it, but I was like, I think that this could be kind of funny if I play off of it. I'm literally going to bring them to BrickWorld Chicago and just give them to someone because like I don't need them. I don't care about them. But it was a really fun, I guess, just task for me to be like, all right, like let's do something different with this, which like I did quite enjoy that. But yeah, there's just, I'm glad that I can just like get the sets that I want now and like get them when I want. And like I can definitely, I feel like as well, like leave a couple more things to like sale, or maybe like do more live streams and sort of incorporate that into other sets. Like I think it would be very fun, but I'm also like more like I'm entertaining the idea of just like buying a couple of sets now just to have sort of the build experience, make a video, and then pass some things on. Like I bought the land speeder to do just that because I was like, I don't need a giant land speeder, don't want it, but I wanted to build it and I wanted C-3PO out of it, and I had a fun video, so I was like, yeah, let's do that.
Oh yeah.
Claire has a good point here. Shouldn't they just target their effort towards audiences that don't buy the product and build them into the hobby? So
absolutely.
So I think they should do both is my answer. I mean, it's much more expensive to acquire new than to pour gas on existing, if that makes sense. So, you know, it's just two different types of budgets, in my opinion. I do think they should do more of what Claire is saying. Like the Super Mario reach outs to the just general family channels. Like, yes, they should be doing more of that.
Yeah, like stuff like that I think is genius. I also like sort of like question why they haven't, I guess, tapped into the TikTok market more, like all the creators on there. Like maybe they're not applying, maybe that's why. But I find like it was really interesting. I posted a like TikTok on 12 Grimmauld Place just using a trending sound, and that one like blew up just like the Butthole Tiger one did. And it was really interesting to see because I was just like, everyone is like super into this, but more so I looked at the analytics and 90% of the people who watched that were female, which blew my mind because I was like, you were like like really, I guess, just like under like targeting a market here. Like it's Harry Potter, like girls love Harry Potter. There's also so many people who are interested in the flowers, and also a lot of like college and university students who don't have much space. Like they really want to buy products, but like a lot of the products for them are either like giant UCS sets or just like really expensive dioramas. It's like I feel like there's sort of like there's a really big reach that they could get there, and like pulling in other people and pulling people back into the hobby who used to love it as kids, like by I guess making more smaller sets or more like using them and like really marketing towards like those type of demographics rather than always just like old AFOLs and kids and everyone who's already here and type of thing. And I think, again, a lot of like creator experts sort of doing that these days by really playing on like the nostalgia with Optimus Prime and things like that. But I feel like they're also not getting the word out enough to all the other people who could be interested in that. It's a very interesting thing, I find. I love like looking into their marketing side of things. It's so fascinating to me.
Yeah, Max is basically our TikTok manager, if you want to call it that. So it's, I mean, he just started you know, discovering the better social platform, which is YouTube.
We're moving up.
He's moving over to the better platform. But no, now before I get into a big sidebar of how I feel about TikTok Lego stuff versus YouTube, I obviously watch a lot more YouTube stuff, but Max makes TikToks that are not extremely cringeworthy bullcrap. Basically, like Max says pretty funny stuff, but there's a lot There's a lot
Man.
on TikTok. I'm not just going after the Lego TikTokers, Max. So I'm not trying to.
No, it's so interesting. Like there's like really cringy stuff, and there's also like really entertaining stuff. And
Yeah.
it's a weird, like it's a wild mix. You don't know what you're gonna find on there.
Yeah. It's and to me though, it's like, and I think I have literally mentioned M&R like 50 times in this damn podcast. So like I guess I'm simping for M&R right now. But he mentioned a long time ago, like I think he had a comment in an Ask M&R episode, like, would you trade your amount of subs for like 3 million on TikTok? And he was like, absolutely not.
No, there's no money.
Absolutely not.
Well,
Because
for
there's
most.
because you can get a 10,000 clicks on a TikTok and there's like 4 comments, or it's a YouTube video where it's like you might, and you don't get 10,000 views, you might get a couple thousand views, but you still get a couple hundred comments. So yeah, that's why I like
my
YouTube more,
take, man.
but
You know my take. I think there's a few really original people on the platform, and then it's the rest of it's literally
Copy
lip
and paste.
syncing and taking copywritten material that's allowed on there. Thank God. Could you imagine half the stuff these people are doing without songs that we all know?
right.
Like, could you imagine if YouTube had that sort of advantage where you could play copywritten stuff?
Oh, dude.
So it's
Or
like,
if you didn't
even
have
if
to
I
like
can get
tiptoe
past
around
that,
it.
I don't need to see 90 people do their interpretation of it. And even if I find it funny, I'm always bummed because more times than not, I'm like, and I just know that's not the person that thought of it, and they're never going to get the credit. And as a person who likes to think they're whatever, somewhat creative, that bums me out because it's like it's all just rehashed. But I get that that's art too, so I'm trying not to old man it, But I'm just like, I have to really.
It's just it seems like it's just like a very good place to like get a lot of reach at the moment, but even then it's like it's hard to like retain that and find someone that's going to like carry over to another platform. Like I feel like it's easier on YouTube to get someone to like follow you or like be interested in what you're posting on Instagram than it would be for someone on TikTok to do the same thing. Like even if it was straight to Instagram or hey, look at my TikTok sort of thing. Like it's a different audience, it's a different group of people.
But it's disposable,
Definitely.
like
Sorry, Max, we don't mean to be talking shit about TikTok.
No.
That's like your main
he's
platform.
accurate.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, that's just my take. It's just like, but it's disposable. My wife's a bit younger than me, and she, sitting on the couch or whatever, she always leans over and goes, now watch this one. And then if I don't laugh, she's like, you're
dead
laughing.
inside.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, honey, like I've thought through it, and and don't get me wrong, there's bangers on there, and there's some really original, super creative people, and I'm glad they have an outlet for quick hit videos because we all don't have 2 hours to watch a stream or whatever. Like I get it. But like, yeah, for the most part, I find it disposable. And if we're wondering why retention is so low, it's because most of the people you follow, they've seen that same video, but from somebody else because everybody's doing what's trending. And that just drives me insane. Like, what happened to being original? And you're getting rewarded for not being original. And that sucks, to me. I don't know. So rant over. I mean,
Yeah, sorry. I didn't want to like inject like a whole segment on TikTok, but yeah.
No, it's topical. But I like both y'all's TikToks. If that,
I always forget.
Gives me a
Dude,
pat on the back.
I'm honestly
no, because you're taking what it is, but you're putting your own twist. The people straight up copy paste drives me crazy.
Yeah,
right.
I always just find it's just a really fun place just to make something fun. Like I feel like I just have very little care over there. I'm just like, cool, I'm gonna make something fun. I'm just gonna share a thought or something. Like it's great. Whereas like Instagram, I'm like, okay, no, like I want it to, like what I want the photo to like somewhat match with like things. I want to make sure it looks fine like next to the other ones. And like YouTube, like no, I'm gonna spend good time on this. Whereas TikTok, I feel like I can sort of just like throw something fun together. Just get a thought, like have fun, like have a joke, and it's fun. Like I'm not gonna try and capitalize of it or like use it to try and get something. I'm just I'm just gonna post what I want when I want, and it's fun.
And people have found a lot of success by doing it. And I'm not hoping I'm not coming off as like cringy old jealous guy. It's not that. I just love to see originality. That's all. I hold that higher in regard than just about anything else when I look at like talent or people doing things. I love when it's original and it hits.
Vine was better. That's the last thing I'll say about TikTok.
Vine was
Love Vine.
Dude, there was
my
people
favorite
whose-
TikToks are the ones that remind me of Vine.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, there was some legendary
Have you ever
Vines
seen?
out there.
Sorry, but have you seen like the guy who did like ceiling titty? Have you ever seen that one?
No.
Oh, with like the light fixture and how it looked like. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sean's
you-
like, do I have one in
Whoops,
here?
I'm like holding it. Sorry. So you know how when there's a room where there's not a fan, Holly, it still has like the light bulb there, and it has yeah. So he made this whole song about he's like, I just want to know if you got a ceiling titty too. I played that like so many like, but there was stuff like that.
I
that was
remember that
outrageous. And when it first started, you had to do it all in 1 or 2 takes. You could not upload previously recorded video, which made it like super raw, and you weren't seeing the same thing over and over again. It was so funny. Yeah, it's like shorts on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, we've dabbled with that, and we've had some hits. Has that driven any subs for you, Holly, your shorts, or is it mainly just?
I was like, oh, I'll just try it out, and I think I like made like 4 or something. For a while, I like considered it to just do like quick sort of like news things, but I was just like, to me, I'm just like, I'd rather personally keep like short form content just on like one whole platform. Like, but I've seen people get like crazy success from it, and just like crazy views, and like.
Yeah,
I think it's like interesting. I think it's good for like some particular types of things, but like for me, I'm just like, nah. For me, it's sort of separate app. Like even Instagram Reels, I'm like unless I can like think of like a really good thing that like would also like work with, I guess like just like what I like posting on Instagram. Like I'm not gonna do it. Like for a while, I would re-upload TikToks on there, but at the end of the day, I was like, nah, it's not. It just doesn't work. I feel.
Yeah.
Like
YouTube
Instagram Reels is its own beast. Like you've got to work with
Right.
their sounds, what's going on there. Like I was just like, nah, I know how TikTok works. I have more fun on there. I'll stick to that. But like again, like people are getting some like crazy numbers and success out of doing Instagram Reels, but it's just not something that I'm like. It's just one more thing I'd need to worry about. Yeah.
Yeah. The last 2 YouTube shorts I posted, I literally had like almost like 30,000 or 30,000, almost 3,000 views on one, and the next ones get like 30 views, something
and
like
it's
that.
inexplicable because there's ones where you think they're good, you know, and they don't hit, and then the low effort one cranks for some reason. You know what I mean? Like,
or
that's
I'll post one on Instagram Reels and it does really well for me, and then like I'll put it on YouTube Shorts and it gets like 40 views. I'm like, oh, all right, I guess guess it wasn't working in the YouTube algorithm, I guess.
All right, so let's we're going to transition to weekly pickups, and then we'll do our top 10 and wrap up. Any weekly pickups, Holly? I know you said you were behaving, but anything you pick up this week?
Not yet. I went online after looking at it for ages, and I finally was like, you know what? With Star Wars Celebration coming up, I should really like not risk it and just buy the Rebels Ghost, which for anyone who knows about that set, it's very expensive. And I've been watching Rebels. I'm really into it. Like I'm only like a third into season 2, and I just know that I'm going to want it more as the show goes on. And just with Star Wars Celebration, I was like, if something with any of these characters gets announced, it's going to do an Inquisitor and just jump. I was like, I need to get this now. Like, call it a day. Ideally, exactly. Already, like I was just like, I want to save for like BrickWorld Chicago. I don't want to spend anything. But I was like, Blackhead Kanan, rich Blackhead Kanan. So I got very lucky in that regard. And I don't care for him. So I was like, I can sell that, buy the brown haired one that's more accurate. So that will help me considerably. But I'm picking that up tomorrow, and I'm very excited for that. But otherwise, I'm hopefully not buying anything until BrickWorld Chicago.
So you're getting a sealed one? Are we going to see a review?
Unfortunately, it's a used one because those sealed ones are just insane. But it looks like it's in really good condition, sort of like it looks like it's one of those like built and then put on a shelf, which is what I do. So I'm gonna wash it, probably live stream it, and then I do really want to review it. 1, so I can make myself feel better about buying it. But 2, I feel like because it's so expensive nowadays, like I think it would be interesting to review it, like knowing the aftermarket value rather than like years ago where the show hadn't even come out. And like no one really knows about it. Like it was retail price. So I'm very hyped for that.
What did you get, a market deal or did you get a good deal on it?
It was a pretty good deal. The guy had 2 listed, one of which was complete and one of which didn't have Zeb, and they swapped out for Ezra. And both of them had black-haired Kanan with it. And I found it listed on 2 separate websites. One was on Facebook Marketplace, and one was this website called Gumtree here, which is like just like a
Offer up.
like trading place, yeah, sort of thing. And it was $50 difference, like more on Facebook. So I was like, all right, I'll message them on this other platform and then like try and negotiate it down another 50. And they came back like offering like 20 more than I put down. And I was like, look, you know what? Considering that's like already 18 less than what it's listed for on Facebook, like I'm going to take that, especially to get black-haired Kanan. I was like, I feel like this is a pretty good deal, especially because in Australia, like there's like no, I think there were like 2 on BrickLink and one of them had no figures. And it was like 170 Australian less than my complete one with all the figures. Like considering the price of Zeb and Kanan alone, I was like, whoa. So I feel like I got a really good deal on that considering what it is these days. But it's like I've seen a couple like overseas that were like slightly cheaper with all of them and still in like really good condition. But I'm happy with it. I think it's going to be fantastic.
That's awesome. Congrats. I know that's a set a lot of people want. Max, what do you got?
Nothing. I have something, but I think I'm gonna do it next week.
All right.
Is that what you? Is that what you sent us in the group chat earlier?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's 2 things, but yeah.
That's fine.
Really hyping it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough. Well,
we know what it is, and it's a good one, so that's cool.
oh yeah.
Girthy boy.
Me?
My your weekly pickups. What the?
Well, that's what I said. Is it my turn?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to jump in front of someone. This is a non-Lego thing, but I really wanted a little Walmart exclusive kind of. It's like a display kind of thing of Batman, but yeah, okay, whatever.
That looks sick.
It's not non-Lego, so every once in a while we show some non-Lego stuff. So I didn't really talk a whole lot about my wedding yesterday, but we had a
Shout out to Brent.
we had a small. We talked about that way earlier in the show. So for those of you that are just now in here, I got wifed up yesterday. So we had a small. So, yeah, voice is a little groggy from the celebrating last night, but we had a small wedding and then we went out downtown afterwards. By the time we got to the 3rd bar, like there was this guy that Jennifer and I both know. He literally just hands us both $50 bills. He's like, I'm so happy for you guys. It's just like, what are you doing? It's like, no.
Who carries 50s? That's
dude.
Weird.
I don't know.
Must have went to the bank.
Yeah, I don't know. He literally gave us both $50 bills, and I was like, okay. And so I was just gonna keep it and use it for necessary stuff like a normal human being. But went to Kohl's and they had the succulents, so
cute.
Had to pick these up. Had to. They had the orchids too, so it was gonna be these are the orchids, but went ahead and got these. And also, my wife is really into houseplants, so like I'm supposed to be behaving right now and not buying a lot of Lego, but I know she'd be like, you bought another Lego set? I'm like, yeah, but it's the succulents. She's like,
but it's a houseplant.
All right. They're
I pulled that.
cool.
I pulled that for Mother's Day. I got that in the orchids.
Right. Well, and like
but she enjoys building them, so it's cool. Like,
oh yeah. Well, even when I checked out, like, and I set these on the counter, like there was this like sweet old lady that was like, oh, what is this? This is cool. And then she like yelled over to her friend at the other register, like, "Hey, Janine, look at this! Lego makes succulents. How cute!"
And Brent's like, "I need my Kohl's cash, please."
Oh, I had to make sure. I'd be like, "Yeah, I get Kohl's cash, right?" It's like, "Oh yeah." But no, it's funny. I wanted to mention this, Holly. I didn't know, if you ever find yourself in this situation, but like you're either at a store or something like that, and somebody has a question, like, you get in a small conversation with somebody about Lego, and then they just don't, like, you hit them with such a Lego knowledge bomb that they just weren't ready for it, because like they're like, oh, I didn't know Lego did this. I was like, yeah, they got a bonsai tree, they have a flower bouquet, you can just get roses and all this. And they were like, wow. It's like they look at me like, do you work for Lego? Like, you didn't. I'm just like dropping all these sets on. I'm like, yeah, so they're really starting in the last couple of years. They've really been marketing towards the 18 plus. The box says 18 plus, but it doesn't mean you have to be that old to build it. Like, they're just like, wow.
You hit them with like, if you buy enough CMFs, you know, you get double VIP and a GWP, and you're like, what?
What are all these WPs?
What is a
What are all these
WP?
acronyms you're throwing at me? Holy
What
cow.
is a WP? So
See, my favorite experience of that was when I bought far too much when I was in the US, and I had just like half of my like carry-on suitcases just like empty bags. So I'd like put them all in there, and then like USA TSA security, of course, pulls me over. They're like, "All right, we've got to search your bag," and I was like, "No problem." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I see. Okay, it's just a logo. Like, it's this logo there."
Uh-oh.
So, "Oh, that's really cool. Like, did you know they did like a soccer team?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then I like hit him with like a, "Did you know that they did like this?" And like he was very clearly into it, and like he was just like, "Oh, like that's sick." Like just like seeing my suitcase. That was definitely my favorite one because he was like still in shock, but like he also was into the hobby, and you knew he had like a couple things. And I was like, "This is fun." I was like, "I'm glad that you're the one who's looking through my suitcase right now, because otherwise I feel like I'd get a lot of other questions."
I had that happen once, but with a championship belt. I went to a wrestling thing and bought one of the actual, you know, it's like 12 pounds. It's huge. And he's
Yeah.
like, are you a wrestler or something? And I was embarrassingly like, I'm like, no, I'm just a dork who bought this. Like,
are you a wrestler or something?
I'm like,
Coming
I'm a
straight
dork
off
who
your
bought
heavyweight
a belt
debut?
because I couldn't earn one, so I bought one. Mine was real slow this week. Went to my first Bricks and Minifigs. I'm on the road for business. So I'm in
Woohoo!
Memphis. And so, you know, I'm always on the search. Once my business gets done, I want to see what's around. And so I went to my first Bricks and Minifigs. Not great at all.
Really?
Didn't have much. I swear they keep that Austin one loaded, right? Holly, you watch those videos and you're like, I would buy that. I would buy that. I mean, the prices are dirt
Definitely.
cheap. Like they're passing on stuff that's like 130, that's like 300 on eBay. I'm like, what are you doing? You know, but anyway.
You talking about like the one that
Literally.
like Emmasaurus always goes
I
to?
mean, yeah, I
like,
just
yeah.
jumped and said Austin, like everybody knows what I mean. But yeah, Emmasaurus, you know, like
Right.
they kind of pass on some dope steals, I think. Anyway, this one was kind of trash. Shout out to them. It was clear. It was just empty.
Some of them get cleared out. Like
I feel like they were very like hit or miss
Hit or miss,
place, and I'm
yeah.
just like,
yeah.
I find it interesting for the ones that are a miss. I'm like, why are you at a place where like there's not clearly like that many like hardcore fans?
I don't.
Mhm.
Well,
I'm just like,
here's the
"Oh,
other
set
problem.
up shop somewhere else so you can get some good stock."
Well, so the other thing was they had some semi-cool stuff, and I think I told Brent I almost pulled the trigger. They had Palpatine's arrest used
Ooh.
150, and at a glance, I'm like,
But then it was no fit. Was it no figs?
it was
No,
missing
two, right?
It was missing Kit and Anakin, and it was missing a little speeder, red and white, whatever that was that went with
Anakin speeder, yeah, or whatever he flies
it.
in
You know
on.
what I
but yeah.
mean? And
So
then
close.
so then
Yeah.
I'm looking at the book value on these. I'm like, oh well, that's why it's so cheap. But you know, whatever. Like I was like so stoked. I'm like, oh, I'm grabbing that because otherwise, because I think new in
Yeah.
box that thing's like 500-600 now. So
I'm
I was
sure.
like,
Yeah.
So, but that was an example. But real quick, just to zip through this, I ended up picking up like a smaller Jurassic World set that I need. I collect the dinos, Holly. So maybe.
I love the dinosaurs.
So I got one of those, and then I bought a Polly that I had never seen for my daughter. She plays the dinos too, but I bought her this Ariel mini doll actually that I had never seen, where she has the. Remember the one scene? Maybe I don't think it was the wedding, but it's like a white dress with the blue on
Yeah.
it. It was only like in one scene, but she doesn't have that one yet, so she's gonna freak out. So that was it, though. I wanted to go drop some dough, but there just wasn't any motivation to. And then
It's all right. You can save for Chicago. It's not all too bad.
So to cleanse my palate, when we ran into a Walmart later, I went ahead and grabbed a McLaren Speed Champions just to, scratch an itch. So.
This? Oh, you mean the actual McLaren?
I bought the
polybag.
the little blue McLaren Speed Champ. They had it for whatever it is, 16.
Oh, the one that's like doesn't have a top. Yeah.
I don't like it, but I needed it, so I bought it.
Well, yeah. And it's nice
Don't
to
you
pick.
hate those purchases, Holly? You buy them to complete a thing. Even I'm stopping doing that. It's just crazy.
That was me with like the buildable Harry and Hermione's. I was like, look, I don't want this, but I'm gonna have to get it.
Yeah.
That's fine. And they are actually pretty cool, but even still, I'm just like, if I wasn't a completionist with this theme, I wouldn't be buying this.
How do you feel about the Hogwarts moments?
I actually kind of like them, and I think the only reason is because I can stack them and like they look really cool all
Yeah.
together. And the fact that they can connect to each other, I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of these. Like,
Yeah.
as in terms of just like opening them up and even just like I guess a play set, I'm like, not that great, but I love seeing them on my bookshelf. Like, I think it's so good, and they're cheap, so big fan of them.
Oh yeah. Are we knocking out the hot list and getting out of here?
Yep. All right. So we're gonna zip through the hot list real quick. Holly, it's just our weekly top 5. Brent, do you want to give her how we come up with this hot 5 or top 5 hot list and what it's all about?
Hot top pop list. Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't always have
I'm
to be
tired. I'm
all
a little bit
sets.
sick. Sorry about that.
Yeah. It's not like the best 5 sets that are out right now. We've literally even put Costco in there one week just because everybody was finding sets early and for the cheap at Costco. So even a retail store made it on there at some point. So it doesn't even have to be all sets. I even think one week we put Monono Productions mock on there because he did a really, really banging Boba Fett's Palace mock that was really, really awesome. So
That was a good build.
And he's a handsome man too. So
I was about to say, so that's interesting. So you do know who we're talking about, Holly? When Monono Productions, he used to just be Monin Productions, but then he changed his name up a little bit, probably for obvious reasons. But so do you know who that is?
I haven't. I've only seen like a photo of that Boba's Palace mock. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But other than that, no. I feel like I've still got so many people to like learn about in the community, and honestly, it's really exciting.
Yeah. So he's
super cool. You'll like him. You should watch.
Yeah, he's rooming with us in Chicago. So cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll meet him. He's awesome, dude. Like the best. Seriously.
Sick.
All right, so top 5. Yeah, Holly, it's kind of a free for all. We used to just do a straight like these are the 5 best sets of the week, but now it's kind of taking a life of its own. So here we go. Number 5. Ah, yes.
BrickHeadz. In the 5 spot. I'll take that.
Hey man, there was a lot of things dropping this week. So
I mean, I think it deserves it considering Obi-Wan has like no like print and that weird gap on his like shirt. Like,
yeah,
I think this is a pretty justifiable 5.
Speaking of Obi-Wan, I totally said at the top of the show that it came out at 3 a.m. because that's how Mandalorian released.
Apparently it got pushed back early for this week, and I was like, kind of rude.
So everybody can get to their canoes.
It's out. It's out. I'm sure people have already left and are watching.
Interrupt.
We're all going to bed earlier. Let's go.
Yeah, we're grateful for everybody sticking through this long on Kenobi night. So in respect of Kenobi, let's sit through. Number 4.
We have the fighter tank.
Oh, I do like this.
It's been out for
troopers.
It's been out for a minute, but it's still selling out, man.
It went right back on back order. Yep.
I finally built mine the other day. I found it in Tesco when I was in the UK, and I was like, perfect. I can use the money that my grandma gave me, and I can run out and buy this.
Nice.
I love the purple troopers, and like the build was like all right. Like it's not the greatest, but like I don't have one. I'm great. I'm happy to get one.
Yeah.
This is a solid set.
So this isn't a .com and Lego Store exclusive?
I don't think so.
Target.
I mean, in Australia currently it's only
like
it was only in like Lego stores and online, but like sometimes that happens here, so I reckon it's going to be in retail stores.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
But I haven't seen it besides that one store.
Yeah, I would love to see it discounted like the 501st is, how it's like 24 now, so it's a good time to
I will gladly
get a bunch of them.
Second one when that happens.
Oh yeah.
Number 3.
DD1.
This is not the exact build, but this is the best picture I could find.
Well, yeah, we don't have official. I mean, we just got blurry images, but I'm sure the official.
Yeah, I think like Walmart or something like got one. So I saw someone post it on Instagram, but it was like 30 minutes before we all started.
Yeah,
right.
Streaming.
When we started
it
when
looks
the
cool.
official came out.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
So
not getting
get that Dio if you need it because it's going to drive that up. It took that to probably drive up Dio, but anyone who wants to collect all the droids, unfortunately, you're going to have to go back and get that Dio at this point. Because BB-8's already ridiculous, right? And then the new R2, everybody should get that if they haven't already.
Yeah,
someone should
200. It's a steal of a deal. Some people get them free. It's crazy.
Yeah. If I don't find a good deal on a BB-8, I'm gonna be paying Max to send me the BB-8 that he was gonna bring to Chicago.
Oh boy,
weird.
So BD1, we'll get into more detail when we learn more, but I'm all for it. I thought it was a really cool character when I was playing the game. I don't
Oh,
have
yeah.
deep love for it, but I do love the set, and so I'll have to get it. Okay.
I love it. I'm hyped.
Oh no.
See how that see that mentality, Holly? We just cycle through it and
Mhm.
it's over. It's like a peeling a band-aid, really.
It's
All right.
fantastic.
Sometimes we
Number
don't,
2.
you know. Ah,
Yeah.
Sorry.
I agree. I mean, like, look, is it the perfect set? No, but again, at that
Nothing's
price point,
perfect.
nothing's
But yeah.
perfect, right? We could all find 100, whatever. But for the price point, $30, tight little set, 3 cool figs. It's a ship people have wanted retroed for a while now, and
they disrespected
congrats and
R4
shout
though
out
with
to all
no
my-
back printing.
shout out
And
to all
also
my
the fact that in
prequel
his
lovers.
image, in this image especially, I don't know if anyone has called this out, and I honestly forgot to when I filmed my video on it, but his head's like sideways in this image. I'm like, why? Why did they do that for? Like,
Oh,
did they
like
make a
looking over
mistake?
his
Like, why
shoulder.
is he looking over at the Kaminoan? Like, I don't know. It just looks weird to me.
That is
Justice
odd.
for R4. He deserves better.
They
Right.
really
Back
wanted to
printing
show.
and accurate renders.
They really wanted to show
Droids
off.
matter.
They wanted to show off his cool lettuce. That's why they did that. They angled his head so you can get the side.
They're trying to
hair.
show that, yeah, we can print these things straight. They're not all going to be wonky. We promise.
Yeah, especially when it's a digital rendering. I'd hope they'd get it right. All right. Number 1.
And this guy.
Wow, I agree. I think that's the most. Because everybody was hyped for it, and I feel like for most people, Holly doesn't love it. That's cool, but for most people, I think like it delivered. You know, everybody saw how it was represented. Even Holly, you mentioned that we saw the images of the craft, the starship in the previews, and then this came out looking like it. And by the way, that's not always the case, as we've learned. You know, there's been some big flops in that department for accuracy, and I think so far, I mean, we haven't seen every nook and cranny. We haven't seen the show yet, but I'm happy with it, and I feel like this has gotten a lot of reaction, and I'm good with it here. Max?
I love it. I mean, I love it to the fact where it's not going to be a day one, but this ATT has my heart. But I will buy this in the near
I don't think
future.
anyone can say that it's bad. Like,
yeah, it's not
like,
bad.
while we might not want it day one, it's like like everything that I've seen is like very positive towards this.
The
set,
Inquisitor
as it should be.
figures bring the boys to the yard. So
Boys equal yard.
Boys come to the yard for the Star Wars stuff. What can you say?
Everyone's
And
gonna
the
be in
girls.
Virginia, like lining up, like ready to get them.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think that's all we had. Holly, we went over the 2-hour mark. I'm appreciative of your time. Usually at this
problem.
point, I say I'm so sorry for keeping you up so late, but it's early there. So
Exactly. It's only like what, 4 in the afternoon. We're fine.
yeah, it works
perfect.
out good for
only-
you. It's almost it's 2:12 in the morning for me. We're all in
One-
different time zones right now.
1 for me, and what is it? 11 for you, Max. Yeah.
We have
Nice.
California, we have Central Time, and we have Eastern Standard Time, and then we have Australia.
Woohoo.
This has been a lot of fun. Holly, we'd love to have you back sometime if you're open to it.
I'd love to
And
come back. It would be great.
And in the short term, hopefully we bump into you at BrickWorld. We got to make that happen. I'd love
Oh,
to say hello.
certainly.
Oh yeah,
It'd be great.
I'm sure we are. We kind of were discussing like a way to get everybody together, like after like post convention kind of thing. Sean's got some. He's got an uncle that runs a bunch of restaurants and places up and around that area.
We'll see if we can pull together a
Okay.
little after thing or something. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, everyone's gonna have 9,000 plans, so we'll just have to see.
Right.
That's why I say I just want to learn. You know, this Rolling Stone, go wherever everything's happening. You know, Uncle Sean.
Enjoy Kenobi, everybody. Will says.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Yes,
sticking
it's
around.
gonna be fantastic.
At least 2 days.
Happy Kenobi night, everybody. You know. So,
Oh, yes.
whew, it was a good one. You know what I mean?
Sunglasses on. Wow, that was in sync.
That was perfectly insane.
I'm a bit delayed here.
We'll cut you some slack, Holly.
She's got the bounce. She's got it. She's got it down, boys. Doing it better than we. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you guys are so out of time. Get it right.
Being old.
Is this trending yet? Is it trending? Yeah, all right.
Might be.
For Max from West Coast Bricks, for Brent from Brent's Bricks, for Holly on Holly on Film. This is Sean the Right Way, and this thing right here, this little wild show we do is, or it has been.
Even if we have to do it from hotel rooms in different cities.
Neither did I, Claire. I just joined in.
Oh, that's right. I sprung it on Claire. She liked it, though, I think.
It's fun.
A couple of BrickHeadz.
Woo!
We'll see you guys next week. Happy Kenobi Day.
Yeah.
And